right. It was a Kwabena. We did the Kwabena Obeng Darko Kwabena. But we are here for be an watcher, no me. But we are here free. Udin and city at all. Thank you very much. Last week, and yeah, and this week so you have and this sanity until we will be at water follow the air we'll follow your friends say so we have free YouTube and I say Facebook and sanity high school is the Bobra it's a sign again it's a sign is cassette it's a sign an engineer and a high entertainment a high sports higher politics higher religion higher baby the na yanka say the titi agreement the threat and normal so we have rabon everybody bit maboni ye and this we will be at so no man no need here and fantastic you're welcome and we will to our picture and then what do I say yeah tia agreement so that it's easier that way. Say unim say one or say we the another chichira braba. Life is easier that way. Only when you talk normal vibration, I say you can go to more what I check. And I'm here near 20 years and they're quitting. But then just how when him rounds and I would the 50, when him rounds and the 60, when him rounds and the 70. Now what I say. And would the first years no diabra or however. Then the brain, the certain is that the brain of our own ways are abominable question baby. And anywhere also, I just say a lot of people, especially, they think that Abrabana Obono, especially Mama Cosco, they can both. Because we are always say, Obin Shishano no media anymore on Famobra. You know, you say, my Mohana, you know, my and there's a wide amount also not wanting me and build the wide to a state. Will be to me actually what Brabona Casa by your own. Now a will trim now, you know, and as I buy near ya, you see a be we my capital, the best business, and I say, will bumpire, will pay favor, and Sanomana, what touch it, Brabo. And some of the things a man of watch our Brabo and America or the many to be so. I pay man or something. The Hakra, yes, I the visa cracker. Go for the Major 200%. Say, Ghana, you want to be more bra. Inti, just say, when you're Nicaragua visa. So, put Dubai, the Saudi Arabia, Iraq, America, Canada, Germany, Belgium, so Ireland, Japan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan. Yeah, you know, you can see a cover because no matter Abrabon Sinitrase. And if you didn't cover with that causality, it will be great. Will be a wolf, yes, a bit more Bravo Ghana. It's amazing how you catch a bit my boy Bravo and my more wolf. Can it be that normal? Will be wolf, yes, a rant and a bit my Bravo Ghana. If you are in that position, you're wondering. So we go free as a man and bit my Tragana Bobra. Look at how you think. And I'm so being a grassroots to kind that. I don't know what the jack controls. I don't know control Kwan out there here. It's because somebody told you that. Somebody told you that. And a lot of the things I actually, a lot of the topics I actually have, I am normal about Tiwapin. The Tiwapin we are. When you buy a home, so say, Brabon one cassa betimabo. Now, if you want to be beer or best or ye beer or betimidi, you know, one ferribium or status a warrior. Now, oh, yes, so I feel what first pan out to Tonoma Basabasara bones I feel was started to Tonoma and betimabo brand easily. But I won't so beer. And your control the money pay. It's a control the money pay and go be out to Quantia. Before you catch the size of because you will come and a year. So, it was your my papa, my Valentine, into Mommy Valentine, Yermo, and O'Donnell, Kwame, and Kwame, Kwame, the party, and Valentine, Mr. Romantic, and yes, you are, high bumpy. So, into your Nipabia or my coffee or Bunko and so on. And yet, and your topics in the brain, a tear dream. Ma woni about so, ma ultimate bray. So what I say, and internet and Yabreha. And this will be a winner, I no money to my baby, not the bobra. And if you hold calling no automatic, it's a yen, Kabuno. I feel my no start to say they, economy. Now, be a baby, in the anymore, entire engine as I so what I say, in the anymore entire, and it's a winner in Indiana. But so the India before said the don't know the interest. In Indiana, yen in term a fire the bit my fire home. And not na yasem. Into wow, but many send Indiana pay the difference is not where you stay. The difference is the knowledge that you have, the skill set, the psyche that you have, the wisdom, the understanding that you have. That's the difference. That is the difference. So what was in Indiana? If you want to succeed in life, baby, I will be. I was an answer now. The bubble brow be to know my simple. The entire nipa be brave. Yera, chakon from I say, go for be brave. Yera because woman yet. That's it. And kaze woman to quarantine on my and woman call school konya certificate to my or sing him dear. The bob ran him dear. The total braboro woman. And internet said, no man koimo. And to our person, no man koimo. Person him dear. That's it. In your life, you will live easily and you're complicated. I mean, before no one said go for be at the kind actually so money on him the end or more the end yepe. And the end, you force you say, oh, being in young Santo, no camera was a fast. And Tina, by any dumza, oh, can say be I befa. But you knew who a cabia or ha yensu. So, into your home person, the baby hour, intimidating the Kwabena Obeng Darko. Won't tell you book could be that money loss, I ready. Opebia pebito sika mrada ho ani mrada ho nti se wonim sa mrada nti na o twefa obono wo no odwen se wonya adwuma na se etua ka ya de be why adwuma 20 years die in fact because mrada ho ndia de fa ho de brain pa ndia and de fa ho de brain pa so financial success principles e book we nra bi Amazon to wa opebia to no pebi na kan. The good thing about these books is that you read them for life, for resource. It's not for exam. It's not for academic. It is not for the professor. Our books are not for professors. They are not supposed. They are not designed so that all the kwakochiradi or classroom man crana sorry. A thesis. That's not our agenda. Our agenda is that the ordinary person can pick the books. Anybody who is struggling with their finances, whether you have been to school, you've not been to school, whatever that you do, if you know that your finances are not okay, then get our books. If you know that you don't have a lot of confidence in yourself as an African, get our books. If you know that you don't know what to do with your life, get our books. That's it. So our books are written not for, a lot of books are written and we'll go to a reference, why. No. And yet, we don't write for academics. We write for life. We write for life. So our books are like that. Unya won't say the proof of you using our knowledge or the knowledge that we share in the books is we'll start to say no man be bro how boss also say very easy, very common. It's not complicated. Over to much show about and internet trade books. And this way I brand here now open book what kind now research I will know as America with a copedia and cophobia be actually I will be to my train more reference and what camp of what I say compare no be kind. Life is full of choices. Life is full of choices. This is what you're saying. So Abrabon when the 35 years Abrabon unhuso usika sami nkoya musika ni ndie ne enye uti na enye the only first ho ne is as simple as that. Abrabon the bar na worry na tare efrese wo the tire na why wo the obi na bo no nyemo e kire se de ye de bobra no ni forget about my school na my say na two kind. It's your resource. Your knowledge is seen in the resource that you produce. And so get this kind of knowledge because Africans, many of us, we have to build from zero. Many of us, now start to say, your subconscious will improve, your knowledge will improve, your psyche will improve, a lot of things will improve. And then you start to see reflection. you start to see your life change. Your life goes where your mind goes. Where your dominant thought is, where your psyche is, where your consciousness is, that's where your life is. It is also you'll be out sorry, I wouldn't say that. Is because that's your persuasion. And it's pay books in the kind. Pay books in the kind. Obviously, obeying to the books obey, and I'm a books and be a mama. So all kind of says, what is wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with that? There will be a bonumwasa still or a babonkoye. What one say? You were sick of watching. And they went here for surprisingly, we have 4 billion dorsum, and internet here on the dorsum. Here for non titty and a dorsum. Was a canicuteska or be a peso tea and that would be all psyche be a deal, or could escape what they improve on opening the atembia, because when I'm sending the end at the Brabona, we hear me one penny beer or pesca. Or per connection, or per shortcut, or per government contract, or per position. Will Nimyan a decision and normal on their own terms. So they really don't go for knowledge, they really don't go for skill. They go for privilege. And say, I got to your say, what one or being Semono. And I'm Misallocation, or trade books that would be here. I simply will be capel teams away no way here, not general form. I'm telling you, everywhere you go in this world, the treasure is the knowledge. That's why they pay millions to go and be taught. Any prominent investor, business person, entrepreneur, any leader in any field who is delivering, their secret is the knowledge that they are feeding on. Every person that you see, the secret is the knowledge that they've been gleaning. They've been studying all their lives. They read, they go, they have consultants, they have teachers. They've been reading, searching, improving, research and development. So the value that we place on knowledge is low. That's why people suffer. And so I mean, yes, says I think a big guy. Gay guy that because ultimately said nipa e krom ya manfo nya sika. Atomuntumi to sika ni. Because o person odi sunsum na tutu sika sem. Isi aka kire ze sunsum sika ye den de sunsum. Utie ya omre so a o TV anya na ma wote am. Utie ye omre so a nya me ye wadoma obeye. Yenkosua se ye de ye. So the best, look at your budget. If you're 30 years, look at how much you have spent yourself. How much did you pay for knowledge? That reflects what you know. And in this life, your knowledge, your understanding, your wisdom is what is responsible for wherever that you are in life. Whether you are frustrated, depressed, poor, dejected, broken, or you're successful, happy, fulfilled, ethical, honest, is based on the knowledge that you have. What do I say? And so if you don't invest in knowledge, oh boy, the better you can in your Bible, we study, we search. And knowledge, one beautiful thing about knowledge is that it compounds, it grows. It becomes strong when you feed on knowledge every day. Day by day, you feed. It becomes part of you. And if you start to express it, you live it because you have really invested in that. To hear me be sorry no kasa. And that's why the poor cannot give birth to the rich. No, they cannot train you. The poor man cannot train you how to do it in life, financially, because he doesn't know. That's why he's struggling. What do I say? And here a brabo, boni in a bebo. The go for the brain, who might be here, piano dogs. Here, piano dogs. Now, maybe say topics there now, more per se a day, actually books. Now, most boys in the brave, and you can see which platform in our country, even on the continent, that you can see that people are sharing all these ideas. We've shared so many ideas, topics. Boys in the brave, topics be brave. Over how many comments? 30, 80 something comments, people telling us the books that they think we should turn the topics. that we have treated that we should turn into books. Now, these topics, we didn't hear them. These topics, we didn't hear them. Nobody took their time to teach them consistently like this. Until wow, your brand tier 30, 35, 25. When you access to this, you are far more equipped to face life, because these are topics that we were never taught. Topics okay, if it's not marriage topics, it's we go to heaven, morality topics, the Holy Ghost, the anointing, supernatural power, things like that, faith. Those are the things that they taught us. You cannot teach those things and for people to organize their finances. What whiskey? That's why many of our people who grew up with this knowledge find it difficult to do well in life. And or call retirement almost they don't know what to do with their lives. Why? Because they were not equipped with these set topics. So when we take our time, look at it. Obviously, quantum thinking. Obviously, bamboo effect. Obviously, cash flow, systems thinking. Obviously, bamboo effect. Great topology. These are topics that we have treated. Bamboo effect, topology, financial judgment, financial great. Obviously, knowledge deficit. Obviously, nation building, poor habits and rich habits versus rich habits. Obviously, surviving the first year of your business, pain threshold, debt cycle, just will be truth as a principle, and quantum thinking. Obviously, bamboo effect, obviously, work ethics, abundance mentality, obviously, how to build passive income in Africa, or building passive income in Africa, or systems for passive income. These are books, and these are topics, various topics that we have spent our time sharing. So we have an infrastructure, we have a system, whether it's our books, whether it's our teachings on radio, TV, Facebook Live, a lot of also on the show or TikTok, or Facebook and YouTube. We'll be planning your books to be our TikTok one, I'm sharing with our SPA. And these are all platforms, education platforms, mental change platform, or mentorships platforms that are building so that people can have access to knowledge. So obviously quantum, obviously life processes, life purpose, bamboo effect, work ethics. Bamboo effect maybe amount for power, systems thinking, obviously decolonizing the African mind, lifestyle inflation, work ethics, and execution, the ability to get the work done, obviously religion and finance, higher thinking, obviously bamboo effect, conscientiousness, wow, cash flow, bamboo effect, Oboku beings, create your own destiny, financial risk, bamboo effect, digital world, worth is not religion, business capital, financial brainwashing, investing in assets, how to succeed in Ghana, right money mindset. These are things that they found a level of education, because anything actually appeal, because these are tools when you pay with your DA. And this is why we invest, so when we be constantly, they become part of you. They shift your mind. The pathways, the neural pathways, they change, they improve. It's possible to change your mind based on the power of knowledge that you receive, the potency in the words, in the knowledge that you receive. They change your path of thinking, your pathways, your mind. Adreno, yes, alliance be did them. You will tell the be an alliance in them. And Interabon says a fast open echo. And it's OTS and phone was share and phone and the woko. That Adreno, the strength of a man's life is in his mind. Why Jenny a weaker? That's it. So financial literacy, bamboo effect. Mr. Ben will be happy to see financial leveraging. And these are topics. Tell me, these are topics that ordinarily you won't take. And the beautiful thing about this is that we share them in our language. Because 80-90% of one go for mote. And you grown you and game on your left no, your left no. In them chroma yete, in the Uncle shift your Uncle be bragging. A bit more broche be or moshesa. Now, obviously, is it an obsession? Obviously, is it an occult? Is not an occult. An occult is where they control what you think, where you spend your life, where you spend your time. They tell you what to dress, where to go, where not to go. You need permission. You're in control, and some and it's a sour brabo. Once it's a sour brabo because of what you have become and the decisions that you're making on your own terms, it cannot be an occult. So, The other boy in Crawford, and I don't know why a lot of our people who live abroad, especially the religious and the educated ones, get offended when we are teaching our people and equipping our people. I'm amazed how evil people can be. Abrantiana or tear Granasia and Samuel Quanum, maybe a petition, and I say, we be, I know what in your draw Kuma or no, the assassin Abrabon. Go know what it baby, because the opposite what I say, Ghana the holding you. A lot of our people are conditioned to hear negativity about us. And so if something positive is coming from a country, they get too distorted. It means that you are really conditioned wrongly. You should be happy to hear good things about our country and be worried to hear negative things about our country. But sadly, a lot of our people would want to hear bad things. And we have enough strength to stand at the negativity and this. So obviously consciousness, obviously conundrum, financial literacy. Yeah, no money be bamboo effect topology. Into waha. Some more can Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. They are in our books. Baby kind. You will normal extra as a nipa be man abrabo so. The entire microphone be petition so means because the very tools are here. Am I arguing? They don't know, and the people who teaching them don't even know. So they don't know that the tools, these are tools. So Ghana or Africa is like a religious center. We have turned our nations into religious camps, thinking that the country is a church or a mosque. And so we are hoping that the Bible will transform our country because we think that the country will change through religion. That's a lie. The country is different. Everybody lives in the country. Religion will take you to heaven. The training of the minds of the people will make them do well on earth. It's different. So you can't pray development into being. You can't pray for prosperity to happen. It's a product of productivity. It's industry. It's industry. There were a lot of wrong things that they taught us. And that's why we repudiate them. We don't like them. Sometimes we get angry. The other day, I was on Max TV, and we crowd just the latter part, and I branched a question. Because these are some of the things that we sometimes get passionate about. Because these are deception. The whole country can be deceived. Ghana, Nigeria, all these countries. So we have wrong understanding. A lot of the things is the opposite. It doesn't matter their level of education. Not just say you can't teach somebody how to repeat or replicate those things. Anybody who is doing well, whether it's a politician, whether it's a scientist, whether it's a business person, these are not the first thing. And I don't know. And these things over time create hopelessness in the people. So until they hear what they can replicate, so something like systems thinking, critical thinking, all these various topics that we have done, they make you feel like you're in charge of your life. And God is not against that, because it takes skill to develop as a person, and it takes skill to build anything, and it takes skill to build a country. It takes skill. But sadly, a lot of our experts, they are ready to fight us than fight the systems that break our people. Our people are really or no, I should them one carry you. Who can be here? The one for no was have a fighting. Why? Because of the condition. Do you have branch or harmony near them? Who did here, you know, Becco? We ye so, a better uncle. Born in Yedin. We are going to obey you. What 100,000 I'm never catch us of Canada. Then Feniaco, on the cattle. Wabro Chenap is over Bobra, how we are no becon. It is a Ghana, they then our bread. Because it's the condition that they have put in us. And a lot of these things, if you don't know, then you side with them. So the guy was saying it's not prophecy. You can't develop any nation by prophecy. America and Sanko for now would do much in America took slaves, millions of us. Millions. Worked for them for hundreds of years. It's not the ingenuity. It's not the ingenuity. Without colonization, Africa will be developed. That's all. And all these countries that are doing well, a lot of them will not get to where they are without slavery and colonization. So steady. Because the colonization and the slavery is still on our minds. And a lot of the people that you respect have not even studied this thing. There's a professor of economics or consulting political science. More than that, so for 50 years. I don't know what so still the actually. So my name is Kwabena Obeng Darko. And it's here, Hanedy, any abre, Mranton Mountain ye. Future and Hadewo. Nyan Sano Nim de Kuta 1 hour de Bobra, Papa. Abrabon yete. Shiantie. Beon home. Abrabon was Abrabono ha. Bibi to a woman who da unsro. We need to cook crowd Bobra, need to cook and a moo. Not the catch us yesterday in Robia. Why? Because it's in the knowledge. Your strength is in the knowledge that you have. So nothing threatens you. And you become a better person. And so today we are treating industrial entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership. Industrial entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership. A lot of the things are actually, as a matter of fact, it is very easy for you to have some level of finesse. And so Benesika at a certain level of beating double brand is very easy, especially mind. Bibi Kitobia on Sabit Macambiano beating the idea to Tusikasem. You hear in India or beating the Atonomai. And then no, and Anayaka all these years. And it's a Hanas a mobile is because I know man for being a human. And then I come a cast a bitch. Also, I buy a bio born so sa. I know can say one status on Tommy, dear grandson. I buy also have the problem. Oh, yes, why fried rice? So university. Because I say, people was one what we school to 1 year. And our status all year. What it just 500 na chassis. And Nesika, when you was it the Biano Sika Babayano is in thousands. And so also a university in Quatrain will be a funny. The Obetima yet the up to Sika assembly. A new degree. A new school, a new visiting. A year who you also wear nipa pay. Now, what you now dear you maintain, you see your would be BSU when you saw it no cracker. I told you no, that's all. It will be a one who be so bunches or Tom Kobe, so Tom be dear, so what all your taxi driver, so what Tom spare parts, or Tom paint, or Tom herbal medicine. The over to my idea who won't for Sobiano. All that you need is the right information to organize that job or that business. Now, for you to Sikani. Say here, party, sending the other bit Matthew be free here. And that's why we because oh, maybe a chile chance, you know, let me who's by name who's. And he said, Secretary, I will pay the other starting who's 100, 10,000, was 1,000 a day, 10,000 a day, 100,000 a day. So, has he coming? And you who say, yes, would it be busy when you saw no one more near your ding? So, dear, we say, Nipper young Kwana, so make my tongue one there. May ya cop him out in bay, you know. And I know they can't watch them so shall say, Eddie, and ye. But to me, my home fear, do. We home from Lana Yedman. Home from Lana Yedman, a Hana Yedi. And one know, and ya dear be will be our DBS in the news to be at some point in our person, or open so Tony, open so and Quassery. We are so called baby and conform with the economy. These are the things that they do in the so-called formal economies, because there's a session that is informal, even in the so-called formal economies. There's still people who are offering these services, these products, and taking money. And so what the entire Uniska is because what you are programming on. And on like say Ansania Uniska. Jojo your teacher. It's the same. The entire teacher will watch your is because we say we did training college. and I go university and I watch that yes I buy back to Canada ye and you catch us and no kwan no and as I say what you to me say oko Canada how you adwuma miensa obey they catch us and yes how that it's as simple as that we talk on way the actually say so once aka bibi na so otimi na say ye a say wo sunyan say wo tebale boko say wo yendi say wo ivory as amankese baby a wo bia no wo hu bibi na say wo ye na say wo ye ni ya wo di baby the idea aspect at the personal level is not complicated. It's not something. Go for a person much to say the ehu. The pens we na person oton a bit matwa. The pens na bit matwa. The other time, me call Louis, because secondary school back. Na ye gina ho na na ma me back e be chia ye. No so me so me da ase. Am say there was so me baba ko o ye teacher, me teacher ni. Was started so till now we'll all these years, you know. And no, just 1 year. My medical can say 2 years no tea. But actually I'm not any friend can say 1 year. I'm not to training college buying for Juma. Send us something in the and I was say, oh, and to me banner started to cook room to what on PK. Coton PK. Was it after 1 year not the kind no team 1,000 or their Abuya. Now, I brand so when my friend was me only my picture or some. I'm saying, oh, what do you know? Was the first partner, Miss Sika? And then Miss Sika be into messages and meetings and our cousin was it the Abuame the confidence as an African. So that is the magic. Because you reflect who you think you are. If you think that you're a defeated African, you are poor, you're dejected. So you be the same Suban. If you see yourself as royalty, Namia boy, also Nyansa, African and here for. Maybe I would do Sabakan be our audio make a campaign in a year out to the year, the idea. Or say, Makoto Cardis or Makoto Aboboya Nesimo. Now 3 days near me started some year Jumania. 3 days was within just this week, my 1,005. Now, minim say enu bosme make my tobacco at the account. And it was all much like Obeng Darko. Now me the tapes ni be a gumnamabo. He's a trained teacher. All that we need is information. To do it financially, it's not complicated. So we 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 every day. There would also this is sound sick as him. Any the ODT post in Sunsurewo. The ODT post into me mauni. Into your police officer, we a soldier, we a doctor, we engineer, and we a depost. The OD be ye. Hey, Juma, I'll bet him don't sack and for here. That's all. And there's a washing bay now, bit matia, bit my beer. It's a block factory now, bit my beer. So we'll turn normal, whatever. We'll go for normal free China, so we'll do a fool. And not energy in the womb. They didn't tell us these things. So you go to university thinking that when you come out, that certificate will make you wealthy. Wealth gives you options. You are as wealthy as the number of, the period that you don't need somebody to give you money and you can still live. No salary, nothing. That is wealth. So the number of years that you can go without salary, that's the wealth that you have built. The measure of wealth is how many years that you can go without anybody giving you finances and you can still live your life and even progress. And wealth gives you options. And that one is not in salary. So it's the miseducation of our people that is letting our people stay in poverty and financial pain and struggles. It's not that we are poor. It's a lie. God is fair. So constantly hearing that Africa is poor is a scheme. It's a structure to keep you down. So their metrics that they are using, they will always keep you down. It's never true. To our branch, now to our dream say, "Oh, startup is here." Okay. And to ones who are wishing I was being share with them who may be at that medase. Baby, I be out. No be chow. I'm saying, hey, I is there quite the power. Obi shall be a mean shout a branch of a cockra and boil food that be. Minjebi say when I was say no minjebi. Obi share obi anu ada wase. Yenti adi sikasem na sesa. So in now see it means say your personal normal na and normal you betima ya obetima sesa personal normal be na ya kire sa the trading, the agriculture and normal what basic our society. You don't need government to regulate things for you to do it financially per se. At the individual level, no. But for the country to develop and build industries, because that is where the rare transformation of an economy happens. That one will come from industrial entrepreneurship, where we go into making the product ourselves based on the knowledge that we have. That's all. And this yet is England for and I say China for and Sana Yaso. Inti ya mfo say no. They say wodo banche. O China o Jones say Kwabena and Marie starch. And here say obefa abrofo formula and Sana wetimi aye. Kwabena betima aye gari. Kwabena betima aye bibi. Some materials na aye no. You betima transform some materials into something usable. Aye betima twama nkrofo. Ye koko ye ho aba asani. Se Ghana jeto ye ho say koko yi ye be yam na ye ne powder. Na ya ne dizemilo na ya twama Africa for nyina. Enka ye hia se obi beti me cocoa prices so ansa na ye ho ache actually. And it's basic knowledge. See ye milling machines na ye power mrant ye be 1,000. Say ye cocoa e mo na ye ma mo right no. Se mo hatawi a mo nyam na nye na se me to cocoa powder. Ba ko bi ye friend say kura. Ebi ma ye omo de ginger wuram, omo de ginger fry, ebi mo de moringa sa no ye ni bebre na ka ba na nkasa agi ato no so. So you can call every part of Africa. And no, I don't know. Here, so be better cocoa. I'm on my boy. So industrial entrepreneurship, it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be robotics. It doesn't have to be machine learning or machine vision. No, it's just basic, appropriate technology based on the level of understanding of the people. And to wow, oh yeah, BBC, oh yeah, cocoa no dwen ho. Wa wo dua banche dwen ho, wa wo do abro dwen ho. Wa wo ye construction. Kwabena betima fa so. Aye some of the construction materials yourself. Is it the doors? Is it the cement? Which ma creativity? And as a tiles, keys, Nemu bebre said the thing about human beings is that everybody knows something. Sometimes ocean comfort the way they are able to think to create things. You say, na ye did akra wunya sa nyansa we. Obetimi kire obi you say, that wunya we. But we forget that everybody is endowed by the Creator. All that we need is the awareness, is the understanding that we are capable to do something based on what we have. And it will be advised on spare parts. Now think of some brake pad now offer the tembiano. Kwabena also so bet my create a brake pad maybe go China and you complicated friends a method biano using no is no complicated technology bia is the same thing form near biano my where now will try the farm. Don't wait for the government. Even though when they come in, they will help. But don't wait for them. Also, I'm saying about some break to Hibaro. Moton bimo ye dasen, bimo ye coal port. That is an industry. Bimo try machine part, gears. That's an industry. Reboring. Those are all industries. And this is you start to see a tone bibi na say more. The next one is how do we make these things ourselves? Books in the education industry, pens. Local hospitals are the same. And normally, we using the consumables, we using hospitals. The same. Why are your hospital supplier all these years? What can you make yourself? It's a shift of mind. Ideally, it's the government that must lead this. But we are changing. We are changing leadership every 4 years, so that system may not sustain it that much. So the citizens' awareness is the formula. So the same thing I what they will say. Now every industry will be able to produce raw material. Ask yourself, what value can I add? Innovation is just looking at a new way, a better way of doing something, solving a particular problem. Just adding some little thing to an existing product so that it serves more, maybe in a cheaper way and maybe in a faster way. That's innovation. And it calls for leadership from the personal level and it calls for leadership from even the government or institutional level. But don't wait for that because a lot of them are controlled. But whichever industry. So be thinking, what can I make? If you're in the fashion industry, maybe what can you make? Can you make the wash print? Main you saw formula now, my complicated. You need funding from them. Normally be cross here. Mama yati assesses so bit might be significant. Yeah, or maybe one for nipa 5,000, 10,000, then they applaud it. You don't need to. You can take 3 people and still produce something. Because they have some bit of funding. They control funding. The moment you control funding, you can control industry. So one of the reasons Africa is struggling with industrial knowledge or industrial skill set or with industrial entrepreneurship is because the technology is controlled and the funding is controlled. And even the market is controlled. Now, we cannot go strictly with that. And so let's look at the technology that we are comfortable with. The funding system, the financial system that we are comfortable with. And even create the market ourselves. Sometimes people will ask you succession plan, and there's no company in Ghana which is 100 years. And say, what do you need a company in Ghana to be 100 years? How old is Ghana? And we shall for the company now. She will more. Umache. Samra will more check the phone. Namo mono ya famo namo. Ya robo se non peso can be in the kosoro. Tembia, to was a Tembia no succession plan and a global company. You don't need to be global company. Just solve problem wherever you are. Serve people. Is it 1,000 people that you can serve? Is it 10,000 people that you can serve? Serve them. The technology that they use, the platforms that they use, the funding that they use, you don't have them. So why are you trying to compete with them? And you don't need to be at their level to be successful. What do you say? You can't tell you here or more level one son why is successful. Obi a man is guy. And this is the way. Now no bisa obi asem. Mumu say net ya broche. Ye credit card, car loans, mortgage, if you want bit my bobra. Mumu say. A broche business is say and a way loans from the bank at a very cheap rate. We bit my survive. We don't have this. So why do you book us to be part of that structure? When deliberately they have taken you out of that structure. When technology is seized, when market is controlled, when immigration is tight, you create poverty for the people that you have cut out of that structure. And I know that you ain't here. Into the air can say the way you are, why do you say? And no maybe I would be would do baby a say na make me in my own small way. How do we produce this? How do we turn the various raw materials that we have here into product? And once you start from somewhere, now I'm one near say, well, person we disabled for the only competing now the war yet just to solve problems in your society alone. You do it. You do it. Say entirely when I make my pam, there's no need to compete with a French designer. No. Do whatever you can with your level. But sadly, especially more maternal check akram, unless it looks like what the white man has done. And that's danger. Because what you don't understand is that the funding, the technology, the market controls that they have, many of our people cannot access that. Today, not me produce money. Industrial technology. So it only means that learn the processes of production. No. So milk now bit my ear. So chocolate now bit my ear. Uncle Foz is there and no more chocolate to her. Spare parts bit my be paint. DBM gonna. Maybe a bit my piano. There are more electronics, there are things that you can produce. I mean, my branch about or speakers. What is our or no Bluetooth speakers. Nipani bebre, they are genius. They have intelligence built but build for the market here. Don't worry so much about the agrofoye and the level of so the AI they produce no problem. Ubetima using their producer are fantastic, but don't me you ubit me. Rantena mako school na mono, onanye from super so tumrika. Ubashia setembia unko bebia. So my name is Kwabena Obeng Darko. Look at agriculture, look at technology, look at real estate. What can you produce in construction industry, the bank industry, every section of our economy? What can you produce there? Look at that and build. If it's the food sector, what can you produce? So how can you turn raw materials? And that's industrial entrepreneurship. And you have to lead yourself. Forget about what your documents be now they are going crashing now by paying so amount of funding, they forget about those. Start with what you have. And I may pay invest, I may pay partners. Forget. That is the structure they know. Abrofu baby almost start a business with their money. They are looking for funding. That's all. They hardly do anything with their own money. Because that's the structure they have created. And they want to tell us that OBI should use that. We can't use that because we don't have that. So you use what you have. Sadly, if in some of our big men, they want us to use the same structure, but we don't have access. So for instance, in real estate, in Ghana, if you're building, you're going to real estate. Sadly, you would have to go and look for them. Now, you are technically working for them. Many times it will be trouble. There are a lot of our people who have this structure, who have this conviction, always chasing them. Eventually, they try to use technicalities to take them out. Because that protocol say your part could be different, especially for many of us. What do you say? And I Ghana there Obianye billionaire. Billionaire every stock market. What is the size of our stock market? Sadly, this is what the people who speak English in our country understand. And this is what they respect. So we live in an economy where a normal, a dominant politics, determined religion. It's not that they are bad, but those cannot build an industrial economy. It's production from the factory. It's innovation. It's entrepreneurship. But you look at our country, every interview will be an I said, I can't people's story. Then you're looking for innovation, technology, industry. You don't hear production. Tell me, how many of these so-called interviews that you hear? It's always people's stories. Into what you hear, without you being aware, you've been conditioned not to be industrial. Because the people that we seek, that we put the cameras on, are not in that. They're not in that. So, because the wisdom that you need to produce is different. And you may be asking, oil. No. The kind of frame of thinking, the kind of mechanisms that you have to put in place for people to think industry and produce the technical skills is different. It's research. It's thinking. It's technology. It's thinking. It's planning. It's structuring. It's different. So when you go to economies that people are just hailing all these otherwise, it means that you're being cut from industrial. And if you look, compare China, you see that they are obsessed with industry. That's what they're producing. So whatever a culture is obsessed with, whatever the culture celebrates, is what they are producing. And so we need to raise a whole new generation that is not only celebrating religion and politics and entertainment, but innovation, technology, production, thinking, based on what we have. Based on what we have. Do you brand or ha? And no, and also an idiot. Sadly, the media, the institutions that we respect, they don't know certain things. To share journalism now, and some of these are a drama, concert. The money home, the almost celebrated, the almost. So how is it going to transform the foundation of our economy? Because any strong foundation, any strong economy must produce, must turn their raw materials into something that they can use. To coffee out to a near, how them is here, and no more when you are in the mood, the hen I will be to my status of baby. So, no more will be a Okomekoma, and no more on beside said, Nasa will be to my baby. Now, status also be a shop, and I'll produce Ghana there. To be able to be a young produce baby. Pekwa was and talk with Umbeto. Umutobacco cry started. So look, open shops, or therefore more than frat, but also produce be in a home. Because that is the way you control your economy. Without you producing, and you can't produce when you're not thinking rightly. When you're celebrating only religion and sports and entertainment, you cannot think to produce. Economies that are producing, that's why the economies that were producing, the time that they were on a door, so you are not producing anything. Because it takes a lot of thinking to produce. It takes a lot of thinking. And it doesn't take bad thinking to produce some of these things that they are bombarding us with all the time. The very things that were importing from China and everywhere, they come from systems, critical thinking, science, technology, industry. I remember there was a course that we did, manufacturing technology. It's complicated. Production technology, any complicated. It's based on what they know, but we can also use what we know. That's technology. It's technology. We didn't just develop it, but that's technology. And so in our economy, if you want to be a producer, a lot of the things that we celebrate, you can enjoy them. You can't. The mountain are more trained. You need critical thinkers, systems thinkers to produce. And industrial entrepreneurship is based on that. It's engineering, it's research. So that's it. Insanity. Do have this idea. It's our bravo. And that's where wealth is created. Wealth that transforms a generation, that transforms a nation. We cannot wait for our governments. One thing that they have ever prevented Africans from ever getting into is production. Because they want your raw materials. So they will make sure that they will never give you an education that will let you, or many of the people, transform the raw materials into a finished product. So they intentionally change our taste and our persuasions and our worldview of life. So if you look at it, a lot of our grown-ups, even the kind of education that they pay attention to, it's not productive, it's not production, it's not industrial. No. It's the art. Come and do PhD in what? International public relations. What are you going to use that to change any nation? You can't. You just need one or two people to train in that, not the masses. You can produce with lawyers, MBAs, But that's what they have made us to believe, that what is critical is that one: theology, political science, languages. And we are doing them in numbers. We do them in fractions, little, but the masses must produce. That's why you change an economy. What do I say? To want to say, your boys will be turning my tips, so it means what be significant. those are the things that we celebrate. You suffer, celebrate. You, the innovator, they will never call you. They won't call you. Because the culture is not tuned on that. So the culture is a consuming culture. They wait for somebody who's endowed by God to create, then they can enjoy it. It was a money suit. You do your crash your heart any year. You can't change the economy, the dynamics with that. So my name is Kwabena Obeng Darko. If you're offended, so be it. But we are building a new generation of thinkers, of creators, of industry builders. What we want to see is that the next 30, 40, 50 years, we have giants of industry owners who didn't have any funding from anybody, who built by themselves. That's what we are looking for. Boys and girls creating their own destinies. Russia Bronia Unsuro. And to produce that, the mind must be in a certain position. This training that they are giving us cannot build industries. Can produce talkers, political discussion on TV and radio. That's all. Not even critical information that can shape the minds of the people. Not an education that can let the people see themselves differently so that they can build by themselves. Political discussions don't change any nation. They are not discussing politics in China. They are building industries. That's what they are competing. We are practicing democracy, thinking that that is development. That's a lie. So don't follow that. And if you have no industrial scale, go and look for them. Put yourself in Kosuya says here engine, Kosuya machine shop, Kosuya BB. We are brand here. Obi yengo Kosuya. Be building machines, Kosuya. Fred Moore Industries, Fred Moore Productions, and call him. Can you teach me? Go and learn. The intimate is because he is Obi Anchre. That's all. It's not because you need a bit. Go for your toilet roll, sugar, go for your answer. Produce should be big in your lifetime. Phones, electronics is not strange. It's not strange. Right. It's very important. Can you? Here's what Ben will be. Oko China. Oko Pewadam to be a factory. The cotton on heavy. For Chinese, they all build a factory. Research. All of us can produce something. You build the software. We build the AI and how it is built, not how it is used alone, how it is built. Creation. So put yourself through. There's a lot of information now. Pick 1, 2, 3 areas. Look at the production chain and start to put them into practice. Every one of us. Pick an industry. Tires now person will be to my year. Pen now person produce a bit my year. Industries, some of them sometimes when my industry is so complicated. It's still basic engineering principles, and engineering is not white man's creation. They are laws of nature that people discovered. They only put their name on them. To create something, build something. Human beings were created to build. If you only consuming, you'll be poor. It's only when you create that you express the God in you. It's not speaking in tongues. God is a creator. The proof of your faith is in what you create. It's not you waiting for God. It's not miracle. It's what you create with the ingenuity that God has given you. Sorry, all this one. They are creating. No product, no service, no processes, no business, nothing. We'll try miracle. That's wrong training. So put yourself something, build something, build a product, build a system, build a process, build a service, find a better way of doing things, save money, and don't wait for the government. It's us. Don't wait for any political help. Don't wait for somebody na more farm. Don't wait. Or be more fine, but move. This kind of information is what creates wealth. No visa. I've been thinking of this topic for years. I just felt tonight should be a good night, but sometimes it doesn't make sense in your head, so you brood over it. You think of it, you're trying to make it sure that it makes sense, but that's it. Before we even connect, then I'll say, write whatever you heard today. I think this is a good one. Go and create something. And then I'll tell you, my ente one TV is on my ente or one TV. And then I'll tell you, my ente and then I'll tell you, then I'll see, this is how you develop human beings. But per country, no. They are telling us that it's only prayer and fasting that will change the nation. That's a lie. And that's a lie that they brought to us. It's a people developing themselves to create, continual creation. That's how you create prosperity. So whatever you heard, let's see. Then I'll tell you, type of human whose success is not in a visa, rather in a state of mind. Yes, don't wait for anybody. Equip yourself and move on. You can produce pen. Go ahead. If you can produce pen, go ahead. I'm going to start making my own poultry feed. Yes, make your own poultry feed. Create something rather consume all the time. No, we need to start thinking production than just importing. That's it. What did you hear? I want to hear them before we move on. And then I'll tell you, we must turn our raw materials into products and services. Great. And this information, the next 10, 20 years, we will see a lot of our people creating. Forget about all the, the inhibitions. Finding thousands of ways of you complaining. The way to control your production innovation is controlling technology and funding. Yes, it is our duty and it is possible. Engineering is not a white man's creation. No, just laws of nature. I can build and manufacture products. Africa can only develop if we create and produce what we consume. That's it. And it's not complicated. It's not advanced. Forget, but your mark drew. You have to create something, build something, and be proud of it. Whatever that you can create something. We must produce something that we need in our environment. We should be producers, not consumers. Everything is possible, all the time. And that's where it is. So now you can Google a lot of things, AI, a lot of things, chat, BTP, go to YouTube, talk to people who are transforming something, produce something. If nothing at all, there's Gary. So many things that we can all build. The proof of your faith is an evidence of what you produce. Yes, it's not in speaking in tongues. We should learn skills in order to produce self-productivity. Love it. Production is not white man's creation. It is not complicated. No, create something in the line of your work. It's a must. Yes, every great businessman, entrepreneur has wisdom and research he relies on. We must start with what we have. Yes, I have a star manufacturing and sell. Okay. We have our own data too. Our economy is different from the Western economy. Yes, it's different. And they intentionally control that. The reason they are controlling immigration is what? They control technology. We call them trade secrets. But they go everywhere to copy everybody. We have to learn production. It's a must. Production changes the economy, no prayers. I learned that I must learn to create and not only look for industry and develop them. Talk to somebody. Obi ye nadwa that's saying, and now you need power and do so forget about them. Okodas of Ogia. I heard that engineering originated from Africa. That's true. As a matter of fact, chemistry, look for the word. The foundation of chemistry is what? It says chemistry. Whatever industry that you think, yes, look in your room and think what you can produce there. Our African system is different from the Brunei system. You must use, yes, you can produce cars, you can produce wheelbarrow. Yes, every one of us, we can produce something. So produce something. Don't be afraid. Won't go for no, you say, won't go for no, and no, but my starting this year, nay, Omuma support to a fine. Go to Michelle Simis Obeng Darko, and Kawasa, binding them, binding them, no by it. Bind will bed no by it. So bet my uncle and inquire. Moment, when you obey and you obey. What do I say? And I win your political and conforming your political functions. So much fee. That's not the trick. What brings significant shift in the foundation is continuity. Is long-term impact or long-term input. In my position at 3 years age and you are, what can you change? Not much. But the other person will come. He will change everything that we do. Now the other you take stem, and then I buy is what is stem. We're hearing VHS every day. What is it now? Good evening, Major. Okay, we have to focus on STEM education that tailored our environment. Yes, okay. We can produce more than what you think. Yeah. So produce everywhere you are. Look at agriculture stream. It's some kind of bit mayam. Look at the automobile industry, the machine. Look at the hospital industry. Every aspect of the economy, there's production. There's production. So think differently. They made us to think that we have to wait for them to create so that we can be consuming. That's a lie. All of us can create something. And listen, a lot of them, they are just consumers. So don't ever think that creation is based on, no. A lot of white people who have no idea how anything is built. It's just a product of training and exposure. A lot of white people who cannot even put 1 + 1 together. And you're saying that to Bruni. We didn't come up with that because sanity. So, interpretation a bit my yeah. Also from so now as on your man. Sanity. That take us
Hello, Miss Obeng. Yeah, that's it.
Yes,
my name is Otinka.
Otinka.
Yeah, that's it. Me say topic we industrialization, industrial entrepreneurship, the innovation and leadership. This is watch the way earlier. I think so. Ibedi what you watch the side way. There was a time I was saying we should be able to produce the machines and all those things, and it has got us to thinking. I am besides, and are we aware? Class a production and a country say developing in other society. Are we aware? Because as a teacher, I am besides. Yema has nothing to do with say we produce a physical product or a service. Mama assignment be no akontraba. One ko we no idea ba. Go ye project work no ye book bi mu. No be say no. Are we aware say sabe akra sabe o ka man project so unko produce cassava no far better than your what thesis. Ka project nifa say unko dua cassava the one how the challenges ne then e betim there. Do you know it's far better than say I catch you say go and do nema bi a ye kwayi project we are say sometimes I'm shocked. Even we as you teachers in do our more cranium, more and maybe as we are aware, say Say yeah, crane money sa anema ye si can come obi. And then that is what makes a nation to develop. Are we aware? Sometimes we say, indeed, when crying and say, what's the sign? You had me to a point to say, you won't say religion, sports, entertainment, politics, any ye never man or minor developer. Yes, I'm serious. Say, I had been with you because, any man, I say, Sabe, China is not doing any of them. She said China has taken lead in EV, electric vehicles. And now, Trump, I've been observing. All of them are going to China. Britain or American or didn't buy. She said, Chinese was China, Canada, the end. Just say each of them, they have gone there. Because African, would they come here? They be a program, no they are boom. But they have seen these guys are doing something and it's working better than normal there, and they are going there to learn something. But they say, will Britain come here so will be democracy? Will Britain come here so will be religion? Something he gave to you, or be religion. Is he coming here to do that? Let's face it. And no, if you have a nation, your highest aspiration, so be a title, be or you be a juma. The highest aspiration is a journalist or kasakeke. The highest aspiration is also for what it is. Sorry, no production. We no speaker, no crane, mic, no cut off the China or cry. We know cherish these people. If you face it, who's the priorities? Is mess up. We are messed up and confused. And at the same time, so you have a development. You do be just say, President say you can rice. Rice a year club bredo. And there's overhaul of rice and local price of producer a good help in your sellers. And the Akwaiba factory Krawanyebi. Britannia factory, all the railway were sent to where natural resort to the coast so that he would take these things by your factory. Until up to now, no, so yes or no, should somebody tell us a cocoa, your textbook, how we can use cocoa for various things, cassava, all these things, but no, can't be Julius Caesar, once more, it's enough for we home. Yes, and the wood, China, no, maybe this is a more serious issue we should talk about. But you know what?
That's right.
Now, maybe Professor B. That is the truth of me. Professor, one of the finest in the economics. We could be saying, SMP 500 cry bigger than the ye. But as you say, as educated people, most of us we are deceived, but we are not aware. Education is really not. And these are high class people. They went to ask the professor and they say, SMP 500 cry, he say, into Africa, say no, Africa development should not be on American market. No, if anything, Africa should create its regional market so that they can. No, some Bible say no, Africa, no. Our development is on SMEs, into which New York banker. He was talking, said even in America, the New York banker, the Wall Street guy, and all those things, they don't even invest in SMEs. Why do you think that what the Sikakoma America or the Africa in an area affected? And you said it was Africa is dependent on SMEs for our growth. So if you want to change them there, then that is where you invest. But Sabe, which of our people are buying all of those things? Which of them is saying, so let's give funding to SMEs to expand, to do this, the legal structures, the administrative structures are standing against them, you know, work on it. It is development, and we seem not to know it. And these are good professors, are rare things, Africa, develop where you say, even wouldn't mean invest in Ghana, invest in Nigeria, invest in something. Or say it should be that strategy. It shouldn't be say come on. No, he was talking about a lot of inflows. Rather, claim say they give a lot of money to these people to fund it.
Yeah.
And it's true. Look at it, say your debt. If you look at your public debt, a huge part of it is external debt. And what does it mean? It means you are paying hugely a budget, more than so much is spent on paying debt. And we are funding them. And these transfers are going. Among for you investing in stocks in their places. Bitcoin, whatever it is. All these things are money we are sending. Tourism, education, you are taking resources to people. And you are asking, say, are there any factory? When you are giving every resource to the very places that they have enough, they claim that they have enough is their claim. If you have a place, every village in your own investor asset, religious buildings, and should somebody not tell you, say, oh, problem. Even this religious organization, I sometimes tell my teachers, say, school sorry, come, all of you will not be paid. You all be volunteers. Nobody is going to pay. Come, volunteers. But besides, no, we are living in a place we hear baby or better, we hear baby or say, then you are thinking of me, do you think that volunteers are because in your management, are we going to say that? Are we going to say that baby? We are thinking about what we eat, where our children will go next after But for colleagues, as they say, they are scientists, so these are biochemists and all those now this of over this place misalocation of resources. Akasebe obey research. This Noguchi, he was a scientist there. Now the guy would this of na so for so old in so another so for bio. So for more my bonnie and Emma Yen. They are just teaching the people say this year miracle those things. Miracle is almost because they are now richer. They have become the miracle is the miracle of transfer of money from you to them. That's what that miracle is. It's not really always some destiny. And we should face it. And these are the reality. So when you now use to fear baby school, baby hospital is from somewhere. Don't you think? Now Trump would bans baby too. Almost China is having a surplus of 1.2 trillion. No, why? Because he has diversified his economy, Africa, Asia, and the other places. Into one for Trump, he is rather succeeding. But cocoa chromosome man, how my go to Krano, Ubi, how my and all these things. But we are praying, we are doing all the things. It's not adding any value. Now, Ubi Mahamisiano. If those things matters, they would have been here to learn. But this is what our education is. This is what our media. I said, okay, praising the BI or a politician. But I have teachers all student platform. Some of them, one of them, medical Ghana Medical Association deputy secretary. Or charity religion. If religion and politics, and then will be say, do we a doctor platform is so far near my crab improve your health to swear. They can share BB. So you on history been to so their interest is politics and business. Politics say you walk around the it has not been able to fix even commodity to Accra Road. And then I don't spend time on these matters. Something it has not been able to solve a whole crowd. So why are you wasting your time on this? But this is what our people are cherishing. Just all these things in the years every home. I think we really would be, and that is what you should be. You be a teacher for near. You may say, "Me who are you import and I be a quarter business. Can it be done locally?" All right, BICC import. So can we use our local materials to do closer to it? Not even the same crowd. Can we? But cafes now can no answer Yakoto. You said they fine and one wages is open. We and yes we are doing and then here as I doing here and you back now uko preach evangelism bi no abetra ho aye nyame adwuma enye nyame adwuma no enye nyame adwuma colonizer master no na adwuma na wo ye eno na ama ye man na ka achi no because nobody is using those things to develop as an man ye mfa develop e ma o man ko nanim utra sumu which we are nema bebre ayaka achi no. China is going on focus on history now and they have learned from their history. It be say yeah have we learned anything from history? Have we, is there anything we have learned as part of it for our development? Is there something we have learned? We have not. We are rather happy swimming in those kind of things. Legacies no cry. Look at it. Past now. What was in Kroman? What of Akokosano? It was all about law, theology. Old. Antonia Munimina, all those guys, Buzi and Mina, what was it? It was theology, sociology, all these things in for development. The professor was talking, said China, Nebama America, America, they said they are producing more engineers than anywhere else. And you hear product beyond the ecosystem, no more creating. They have the human capital for it. You creating business. Now you realize that the most essential limiting element is the capital, but the skill capital and the limiting. Who get the business? Ubadrin say, "Oh, I am funding." No. Ubadrin point that we hear growth. It is the capital that you need, and this is the challenge, and this is what China has solved. But they are lawyers, they are producing lawyers, they are graduating, they say the law school, no, university. We are not talking when no baby, I creative Bible school, produce. If you go and read the history of development, they showed it. But those days are not Britain, the religion, where there were monks, Confronting monastery. Even Charles Darwin was want to be a minister. All those things. Who said no, misallocation of resources. And that's what they learned. So no, we shouldn't let our people get into this. I was listening to Chinese history. I'm saying they were good in this morality, ethics, but their limiting was industry. But yeah, they didn't. Yes, yeah, they the same thing. And one and idea resources, religion idea resources, media, we resources. For production, it's not there. Who catch you across a Masa Yenko be a Yaunia or Mwa. Bauka and say Masa Yenko Brucia or Babuao. Yenko, yes, yeah, Jane Obia said. Obia capture Jane inside that. Because no, the very things I hear no who can mean you never boy in life you here for essentials. And then we are sacred, but that's not one. In the other say these things are needed for us to come to track. Dear Brene Adaja, and Mobia, and Mobia, and Mobia. Sabikokoi, you are turning to a year value added. They always in Navy America said the economy miracle almost so many. It's not sustainable because I want the raw material and I want to build it good and I want to market in Ukraine and the market is a value in the bar for my dinner. But if you can add value to it, we are in control. China, they are all kind. America, yeah, all these tariffs. He has found a way. He is still growing. Russia is still growing among the best in Europe. Added there because they are producing. They don't care about what sanctions are there to almost. But yeah, the will be in the market now, or is it called block market now? Oh, yeah, go visa crown or block one is visa. I don't cry something. Most people even will never travel. Most people will never travel and don't cry how. All because I catch you for the person and your 20. And how more and unnecessary things. But yeah, there's also it two house or a catching here. You are really misplaced priorities. Really, your money, or mama, what being no actually baby, and wow, mine. Oh, yeah, selfish. Oh, yeah, really matters as far as development is concerned. Yeah, that's it. And these things will be arguing. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much. Wow. Nanabi Gaza.
Legend.
Yes, sir.
Memoajo, legend.
Yes, sir.
You say only my meaning of suffering no be away.
Yes, sir.
That was it, the decline. That was a part and Churchill Gusua or de Maye. This me share interview be na Bema be a walk Kumase. One of the YouTube channels in the co-interview na or Tondo Kono. Or Tondo Kono. You none of the I quite the best with you, Mr. Obeng. I'm power Casana oh no aboard in say some kind. Bema legend. Bema also a Greek in my honor.
Okay.
The Godson TV and the co-interview. Bema just say or Tondo Kono just also a share and my cram so be on one day near dinner. Also a share whom every day no. When was any other grand also had no say. Or be also Cosco and also no so Coso Generals no in the crowd who bring 2 billion so to crown crown I want to crown
That's right.
Oh Cassana I'm seeing part with you, Mr. Obiampa. Be more torn docono. Legend that was a pan and church we need it. Hey, I can't find and keep up TV. Yeah, that was it. Now, maybe topic is and no one can seem be a massive my bottle kakra. So topic in industrial entrepreneurship, innovation in leadership. What can say? We say, me try a cry. We say critical thinkers, and I say systems thinkers, or money producer as a critical thinkers, and you cannot produce when you're not thinking rightly. As a hit me papa and say yay anuntia, anuntia improve as a young team producer no more be brain. Legend. Because me as a information you consume on social media so sorry them or take mo just say radio so MPP NDC we yakujani kuno yakujani yere ise mhunu sa na ade na ade asa ebo ayi wusu a be 12:30 to 1 na sports for so ba be ginem sao edi as you are living in other people's world as what Ghana but just say adwen no ni normal wo no ye de wutie no eyenkofo bi kuro especially sports for no Real Madrid Barcelona ombeji ho achinyi sa be 3 hours no mo de everybody legend Debbie na last month more now we live na me share YouTube nipa na wo YouTube channel na about 1.4 thousand. The same day now no more team legal wife of any access one of the channels I remember so me bob do program this Saturday friend be show business say YouTube in Kwano be the same any 10,000 and
that's right.
Now the whole TV station can see say the best 3 hours can Ubi a Japadiane team legal wife near yes and I'm saying anuntia. Now, what can say only critical thinkers can produce no? And no man who say sad in free. And you quite ya no ye fan no more bit media producers so. Yet your mind more ubi ko baby no upori kra ne nan kopem bo kra yanka. Abey phone no. Yeah, my baby a me kra ma me sign. Enti me wa ne bia wo nante wan hwefo. Ana nan ko bob bem. Normal. Ezebeka so who David obi ne person or share ase obi ne person o ye ne bibi enti as a cancer is a point is only critical thinkers and our system thinkers can produce no say David now we only go say we only go your course be critical thinking na no kra na nya de wo kire yi bi o me na me ka me kire UG as a University of Ghana required course. And yet the wuchre be a argument fallacy sa no man na ye kusia you and yet critical thinking say okay what's the problem be a wo man temu society now what dwene ho say okay kwan best na bofa so wo solve this problem na no na just say what think right yeah so na bibia ye de ko sha be foi bibia ye twen aban MPP NDC ye can sports ho asem we akujai ni kuno we akujai ni gire sanse hunu sa na ade achi na ade asa agent ama me ra ho kakra we say only critical thinkers can produce there be or see agene or see critical thinking or say you deep in your knowledge you know Nasa production ya okay. Ubet me produce I just say usua ade o. Just say I say we are very observant. One who say okay problem because you can't just produce anything else. I didn't know who produce no. Eba be solve a problem be in the society.
Yeah.
And I just say we are very critical. We are analytical. We do any to form. We share problem be na what has say. Kwan be so na be solve. Legend ya da was a pa say o chire wa me ani abo en so na me say na me bi me poultry project bi na my dream was I see me me feed and na menye. But after say me tea we ya feed them say o the business me me dey na me say na dey wo feed wo koye na say okay mu production ba for mu a na we end there. But dey no say no feed is week bi ani boarding. Me say no after say me tea we wash me class no was who name say me we bro so be bring go no mo. A bro back e was very the back they go on mo legend.
Like on critical thinking now.
Look on boy, I'm going to you know UG and critical thinking. Yeah, I do. My dinner house, my bro bear over $50 it go on them. Yeah. I know the main ingredient, you know, the Canadian, and no said I knew who sir. It go on more by my drink who says, yeah, the minya, but mayor, DBC legend, you know. That last week that's all the warrior knew, and missing more YouTube channel or something. And then they say that music will come out and so and then they can't legend to be so and that was legend to the Bia say yeah channel dana say support the Bia demand legend with the man be CSA
That's it. Yeah, thank you. Senior Cas.
It's producer in chief.
Yes.
I'm Marie. I knew last week, sir. Mr. Nami, Papa, no win. Oh, win. Yeah, I mean, no. Yeah, okay. And I've been young, kind of the show, and not the show anyway. About factory need a home here, because one year would be our pan or Tom or Mekai. A few years ago, near Copet, a hand sanitizers at all. Name Madame Food. I should share American companies. Who from I'm saying, no, Africa is not a market. I'm saying, any crazy party at Africa is not so. What do you mean? See, I told you in continent, you know, Africa. Just say, I'm a bomb, 3% more party, no matter the amount of money. And now we have to start building our own stuff. And then maybe I guys say important. Regulation, politicians, they should stop importation of all those. By force, and no can. Kika, humble, team, quantum, out, one, two, no more. Kaka, Mkuku, a show, no mamma shows, one day, big now. And see, that's it. You shouldn't just listen, you should go and do it. And where Marty, me share butter factory. A yank of a crane, we are interested, I think, yeah, by a cotton. African black soap, a share butter, a grano paste, the yam rough. And the yank of a crane, never breathe. A crane. You are interested, you can link up and then we'll talk. As I say, I'm ready. And I'll pay a baby a bit to show the project. Our assassin. So I'm going to say, oh, I heard the unions, you may say, oh, what the unions will acquire in your two spots. Indeed. Yeah, maybe be and stop here. Indeed. Legend, yeah, that's it. What motivation?
Wow.
I mean, count.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Now, we feel better on you.
With my WhatsApp me +1 908 845 7615 +1 908 845 7615. Man, Fred, just send a WhatsApp message. I'll link up.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Diego, so Peter Kasa. Okay. Yantonka, auntie. He's on mute.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
That's all the it's
Yes,
the Kwabena and Marie. And that can come, I think I had to feel me. So maybe I feel I've made a small crowd. Sometimes there's always going to be more a crowd for a man, and I feel younger. No commercial, so production. So there's that production, yeah, reach me a production. That's more, yeah, reach me a production. And it's a, well, you believe that. Yes, this thing, I'll go and be asking people and then also things that I'm here like the concert will be legend there 2,000, 3,000. Just a week now. I'm not natural to them. So this moment is and I'm taking your decisions and how would I get to produce? Hello?
Yeah, Koso, you too.
Hello?
Yes. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes. Peter Yatonka. Koso. Oh. In a Sabra. Kona Sabra.
Hello?
Yes, Yatonka. Yeah. Okay. Peter Sabra back. Okay. Kankam Kasa.
Yeah, legend.
Yes,
Ciao.
boss. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic topic. Industrial entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership. Hey, topic ideas obinfo dante kind no crow. A flashing my soon pen our platform is so, but and then so the any and then the any different information out there. My and a legend session course na me I was tempted say me check here DAB about China, UK, Germany, US, and Ghana and as Africa as a whole. Now me check here no me check here China number of factories and industries or more compared to temples. So make temples are sorry, mosques and all those we check here and China has a little over 6 million factories. Not just factories that are good, working factories that are actively producing things.
6 million.
Yes. And they have also on Buddhism in the hair more, and they have about roughly 33,000, like temples. We check US now. US has close to about 300,000 factories, working factories. Who produce Niema. Ocheki UK, they have about 213,000 factories.
Okay.
Ocheki Germany, they have close to about 400,000 factories that are working. And Ninyina, they all have working factories more than temples or religious institutions. And I'm checking Ghana. I'm checking the whole of Africa. I'm checking Ghana. Ghana has more religious institutions and as a religious building about mosque in sorry and all those we have more of them than working factories. Me cry the factories, men can't say factory can say a issue. Say be obi kura wo e kwan ho no ton ade. Obi wo e kwan ho na watimi asua se na ye nwen kenten a oton nyina are classify it as factory because factory country bia metrics and the culture are different. And in say Germany for yem pabo na say Ghana obi nwen kenten nyina a factory. But sadly Ghana we have more religious bodies than working factories. Now say Ghana na within every 10-mile radius biano ye were sorry and I say were mosques and recently there were people complaining say upon Juma background untimi that because and sorry can and they know it's not like they even have soundproof they didn't untimi that about how much bear for so na in your account so at your moody and name. Now say share innovation and leadership there. May ya to say the entire say China has become a super and powerhouse near say now they are producing more. They are producing more. And until China baby the global powerhouse for manufacturing and I say production. And the entire we are constantly becoming broke and I say we don't even produce what we consume. And in recently, current Minister of Finance at the bar say a bro, now share amount of a bro the bar na legend. Me read and not meraho. Last 2 years since almost say to say we're learning say you know a country. If you check, we are talking about billions of US dollars. Billions of US dollars. It says Sani ebedim pointimim produce dia. Then when it comes to high level industrialization, a kwamba so pan ebetimi edruo. And me what tech minya kwenya share documentary bi or say men who built America. And legend oma tumfu trogu yeni say yenko school me nka say school nye. But if you look at all these big countries is what a lot of people think say the informal, those become the backbone of the country. Into share America, men who built America documentary, and there were Andrew Carnegie move, there were John D. Rockefeller move, there were all those big men. No more no school and shut down question, but they were very entrepreneurial at a very young age. You hear Carnegie move, Rockefeller more. Omutimi ye niama kese Rockefeller and started Standard Oil, and no na babe Shell. These people were the founding fathers of the economy of America. But okoye die mo amansa musa niema no mo ye be catch say no cake titi enunti no nkran mo munko school mo munye sei enunti no obu a ne ma meton gobe no but okotek ba on person beton gobe ni bi ba ni refi say gobe no one way or the other is an industry because the mother is producing what we consume. And I can tell you for a fact, statistically, that a day beyond the number of sales that we make from gobe, cocoa, wache, any local food, is always higher than the intercontinental ones. To say be a fried rice, any those, how many people never go kimpiski? No. But let's look at wache. In fact, a kwano who many biato, and when China for only who say even as little as your company is, produce something. Even if it is fake, just produce it with time, Obabe perfect. Sanity with time, Obabe perfect. And these people have been doing this for several years. But I think it's another issue we have to tackle later. But then, me say a triad is all these countries or more the religion, bro. I'm say more religious bodies than factories. But look at the number of factories that they have. China, the M1, over 6 million working factories. Over 6 million working factories. A basic then at China and watching. China at some point will dictate for the whole world at some point. And it's not senior man we can say only China and yet maybe China didn't care because they are industrial behemoth. They are producing more on farm. Germany say on any on funny because these people they are far gone. But this is a copacho because
they say cocoa, I mean, I give it my cocoa powder, cocoa drink, cocoa biscuit.
easily.
Why are we not saying that, okay, let's lift all this exportation and just say that, listen, we are going to give right to a lot of Ghanaians, produce powder. Let's limit that importation be on, if nothing at all, drinks.
Yes.
Produce powder for all these schools. Institutions be bring here powder. Sign a deal with Nigeria. Go to Kenya. Why are we crying over any yenteso? Cocoa board, no. What is the essence?
No innovation.
No.
No innovation.
I don't know what's also I don't know what's change over all these years. Why? It will be tonight. Them like I want to be a be news. Why should it be a news? Why should it be? It shouldn't be. But if you are hooked on discussing politics every morning, you can't innovate.
You can't innovate. And
you can't innovate.
You can't innovate.
Entertainment, sports, you cannot innovate in terms of production, industry, things like that. Technology, you can't.
We are far away, legend.
Yeah.
Far away.
And part of it is the kind of education that many of our leaders, people in critical positions have had. They have little technology and engineering education. It's more of the arts, and those things. And it's difficult. And it means that engineering settings, factory setup become very complicated for them. They think it has to be something complex. What should it be? May say we have caught China several times. Baby omo ye bibi pa be wan say anangrofo we nti de omo ye nyina yin we ni wo hye tokrom ba bi kura wo twa no ma wo twa mpa fa bag is ofa ne nsa obi na ye pin o ha obi na ye we obi na ba ko no keka nyina bo wo fa shoe ase obi na ye zip da obi na ye there's no factory that is making everything back to back. No, they all making bits and pieces into once all market no kura na or the shop no kura no tibi ship papa. Because to turn a bit by bit from everywhere. And it's not only with fashion, it's with automobile, it's with machines everywhere. Everybody is making bits and pieces of everything. It's a chain. And to the oil way in specialty, no. So if you take the telephone, for instance, somebody is making only the screen. Yes. Somebody is making maybe some chip somewhere. That is their specialty. And to or no, but if you pick a car, a bus, for instance, the chassis, even the engine, you have multiples of companies that are making the bits and pieces of the engine parts. Yep. And somebody's just putting them together. But in our head, when you have a company that is making car, it means that everything from the car is being made by that company. No. There's no product which is complete from one industry. Not an airplane, not telephone, not calculator, not your computer, nothing. But our understanding of industry is what. And so, when you give people non-technical education for so many years, that's what production becomes very far from them. Mm. And then we are thinking that if you educate the people with those, they can turn factories. It is difficult. You need a lot of these technical trainings. So factory does not become something that is magical. So, insanity. What the lawyer for the lawyer and a PhD in what? Why is that a country that is not trying to industrialize? They place much importance on non-technical education. Because so long as they can import, they think it's okay. That's the danger, and that's why they trick us. They made us believe that every education is education. Not necessarily. It depends on what you want. Mm. If you want production, then you must have specific education. It's difficult for you to just easily transition. When you're producing a lot of lawyers, you can build factories. That's all. Well, contract no go hit what you're saying, sir. Into your problem, or challenge. Let alone your maybe PhD theology. and you want to develop solve unemployment, even just pick agriculture. If you can't do anything at all, pick maybe top 5 industries that when there's transformation, there will be total transformation in agriculture and agro processing, big area. From the farm to the chef. Pick somewhere like construction because you need a lot of buildings. And let's see if you can produce maybe 50% of the things that we use in construction. And maybe pick automobile as well. You can just and machines, machine tools and things like that. So fine, hammer, ne so ne ade. Why should we import them? If nothing at all. If there is any engineering course that we really need to produce a lot, it should be mechanical and agric engineering. Go to the university and see the number of guys who are in those disciplines. Very few. Meanwhile, that's where the structure of our technology level and our industry is. We are not producing robots. That is a lot. But for Soso and Sophie and Pickers construction equipment, we shouldn't import them. We shouldn't. Why importing wheelbarrow when we can easily fabricate? But when the people are not determined to produce, that's what happens. Nika, why should we import them? Conveyor belts. These are basic industry things. And when people in critical positions don't understand technical education, that's what happens. So understanding of development is election, democracy, political discussions on radio, a lot of drama on TV. So a lot of our great heroes and achievers are people who are telling their story, and the story has nothing to do with technological advancements or engineering creation. No, it's just about fun, pleasure, livelihood. So economy is more of livelihood, drama, fun, tourism. Somebody is telling us that we can develop with tourism. Are you serious? Do you know how many people visit China? Visit China because of production. They want let people come here and they will taste our wache and they will taste it. We should come to our farms. Then we are thinking, yeah, let's go and look at the something. Maybe it's not.
Legend.
It's our problem.
How
much is it? And think all who invest in na you don't call chemistry. One number be and go for your petition. Do we no chemical and you? There be a mixed paint. Oh, tears, you there be poetry lab report. Asa, we are titration, yeah. Asa, oh yeah, I was on you. Consent. They are far, but I be. I have no big the camera. Listen, you are entertaining yourself. You cannot entertain yourself into production. No,
into production, not at all.
So long as you continue to import, you are just not there. You are starting, but you're not there. You know, and sadly, we have a lot of people who are putting up a lot of weak arguments, and they are in critical positions, and they've been doing this for all these years, and they have not seen a shift. Oh, we will use the why to develop. Listen, produce. How many you know? You must produce them. Pickers, Sophie, you can't continue to import them. And Pabua Yeshe, and Sumade, pens a yuzu. Import brush, educatory and support.
Support, yeah.
Almost everything you want to
do.
Chalewate. A Brahman, bit my Hineman is no money now. It's just the condition to say that let's do something. Let's do it. As a matter of fact, if you look at cars, I'm of firm belief that about 90% of it, these boys can work on them. It's just somebody with direction. You say, let's produce. If nothing at all, Bobo Yane project and it's a neighbor. Say the beba, maybe some critical electronics be a intimate. Say gear, it is out of man. Boys limit by you. We will be the simple, but we don't have the belief in them that they can do it. And yet they do it. Because share guy be our tanky, full tank. Or you see what who baby money free buy. Precision. And they are all over Ghana. The only thing is that we don't have a system to coordinate them. Every industry, from wood to metal to earth, almost every industry, we have people who are skilled and gifted. Even AI, IT, we have the boys who are skilled, but who is putting them together and giving them direction? Or even nothing at all, letting them have confidence that what you're doing is relevant.
Yeah.
No, there are people who can develop chemicals from base. Lawyer for Pambo. A problem. Money Lego. Now, Nana B. Mote. Monday Lego. Problem. I can't hear one to
Oh my God. Legend. I think one last thing I make a demand will be here. So most of these countries, for Germany, for example, already, in fact, I'm afraid with the global south, near Africa, near other these Hispanic countries now, almost here a little bit underdeveloped. Germany in the year 1948, they forgave them about 50% of a car normally during World War. And or started manufacturing in Sanyamano. And not a car any so not like pressure behind it's just about 2010 yana ultimate chia and kitty biana. In fact, they build the country out. But over here, African countries are a lot of us are saddled with debt. And then by the time my own triane can you crown.
Maybe I have it all.
Oh, maybe I have it on to oh yeah, adreno quan ultimate. A cat also a legend ultimate.
But they do that to prevent you from production.
Yes. I don't know your soon,
intentional.
Yeah.
Fight that so you can produce. He keeps you from the market. He keeps you technology from you. He saddles you with debt. You find it difficult, and he gives you wrong education, and they will make you focus on heaven than earth. How can you produce?
A problem. I know people talk about AI and they say, nobody's disputing AI, but technology, education, and everything being issued always come from the culture of the people, like any relevance. So fine, Amazon lay off big tech companies, healthcare, people are losing their job. That is in a different jurisdiction of the world. But over Africa, like we are far behind in the sense that you do level now. Fine, you bet me use AI.
Can you? How are you going to use AI to produce wheelbarrow?
You cannot, because
problem now.
We don't need that at the moment, even though it's very important. We have to solve the root cause issue. And sana now this American for no munya fiti no mudu sa level. Most of these countries, even China now, AI now is just for a particular sector, but about regular phone volumes now, it's not really that. There's still more of that mechanical aspect of it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know more at the moment.
Hammer. I don't know how you are going to use AI to produce hammer for that human beings. It can probably help in the design.
Yes.
That's the letter I understand. But the factory work itself, the machine shop that you need to do, the casting, how is AI going to do that? Amazon and those people, are they manufacturers? And
purely tech company, and then like sales, like retail. Yeah,
but to produce
commerce,
physical product. What's it? Robot, but how many robots do you have in Ghana?
That is it. And our problem
So
is
who
different
going
from
to build? Okay, so even
people.
if you can use robots, I don't think you should import the robot. I think you should build the robot yourself. Do we have the technology chain to produce robots? I don't know. If maybe I don't understand it. But listen, the truth is that even if AI is there, my friend, or AI and the Obenya kente.
Oh my God.
And
Legend. Topic now about Besisa. No
okay. All right. Jack, thank you. And so those of you who know the technology, maybe you can help us. But I don't know how Mamponte for me I use AI without hitting hammer. I don't know how it's going to work. Huh? AI can hit the hammer. Wow. I don't know. And so who is going to control the data centers? Are we still going to rely on them, or we are going to build them? Okay, so more expecting on you should tell us. Okay, say Prince,
Mr. Obeng Darko, good evening, everybody. Yeah, that's all on church all the time. To be honest, not just I just came across your videos and your teachings, but not my full attention to it. But I have seen a real and a good impact in my life, and I've also started to be thinking, so I asked myself, why all this? Quick one, anopaya na me share program bi me wo Canada CCA. Na me share program bi Canada government is offering to some of the farmers in the agri sector. And I was looking at the eligibility and how you can acquire all those programs. So one, they are giving money to farmers, so you can get into a maximum of 1 year. So they want to see two things. One, you can produce. Two, you will bring the farm produce. So if these two things, and you are a citizen or a permanent resident of Canada, they are going to give you that kind of $1 million. And with the $1 million, the ombechichim, so $250,000 with no interest. So if you are able to pay, and I say, then they issue you another form of money for the investment. Eti metuona medwene na Ghana nso Agric Bank ye set it up purposely for the farmers no. Sana farmers ni hu ana. Mintimi nini ena minim se farmers impo no omo ya aware se Agric Bank no. It was there for them. Na omo betimi akwa loan. Ni nyina na ya ne political. Eti mi hu teaching no concerning the industrialization, and I was thinking over why say Ghana all the time government be obebia or police for car recently, and intina Mahama recently watch police for car intina the example said be Ghana for adwin be basuntem. Why is it that president be obebia all the time na wakotoka frabuche Nissan Toyota no dey police ni abohudwa ni aboye nsem na yadana se president yadase Mr. Obeng wona obetimi aka sometime dey ni isusa Kwame Nkrumah ye bete se na mo produce car e wo Ghana na mo hwehwe cars e wo Ghana. So the strategy Kwame Nkrumah was using is say Nissan na mo abrochira ye mefa car complete ni infrabroche emfama mo de mo mani nyina ebeba Ghana na ma be sete a factory mo de mo fa parts na mra Ghana for no e na be hwehwe. That is what I was told. And until America said, Mr. Obeng, one be the best person because at that time we the money hu. It wouldn't come up quite and penifon be catch say even at that time kran uwie school sa companies no and de letter ba still here nipa. I quite remember me teacher ni bi catch him say uwie school na on struggle kra okra na wo kire say company we na mepe and I say we na mepe because at that time we were having more industries and I say factories or more hye niema omo hia yima no and then it has turned otherwise company ni ho what I say company ni ho it omo hye bibia nti ye koto complete car no ne de aba na nado aye mahama aye tese kofu aye it is obia eye it currently me pete me sound a little bit of political na me hunu say Ghana for one we have not discovered who we are. 2 yente ye ho ase ye nim nipa ko aye den ye because we don't believe say ye no it all the time na this ye koto de obi aye anase ye koto de broni aye aye menim so obi a political party me person me sound a little bit of politics here.
No, but stay with the topic. We are not doing
no.
Hold it. We don't get into politics.
Okay.
Stay with the topic. Tell us what you think we should do.
Okay.
Politics is very minimal. We've been discussing politics for forever, and we don't think we don't have power to. I mean, I can't tell.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and so we don't really waste our time on politics.
Okay. And I'm a person me use as evidence now.
No, but you can talk to politicians if you are with them. You sit here, we can't talk to politicians.
Yeah, I will not go there. Okay, I will not go there. Okay,
Yeah.
so quick one. I mean, so the reason why Donald Trump episode auto Greenland and I send the focus in Greenland is all because China is investing more in Greenland. And Donald Trump is true. So the world leaders now who say the way China is growing and China is dominating. Quicker and so what are we also doing? So there's no doubt to say if we decide to produce and I say we decide to move forward, so currently the large all mining in Greenland, China for a investment, or in terms of transportation, China a investment, or in terms of airport, China a the investment, or so it is not because they wanted to use it as a security, but because China also saw then almost it's true. So I think we need to rethink and we need to build our confidence and identify ourselves. Support that's it.
Yeah, that's what the game is. Thank you very much. Thank you. And mainly, I mean, you can talk about politics, but really doesn't get them. They don't care. They don't have to listen to us, because they are in Land Cruiser. We all know Land Cruiser on the toy and if we know auto. What the can I say now? Who bought? They don't care. Koyokasa.
Yeah, suppose I for one class or Pia. Michelle Marie Busiano. And also a Uja or the Ama. Baby, I'm what they are doing today. No question. In some of saying I am very critical. Do we really need AI to do this? Yeah, system, your culture, yeah. Your new way picking kind. That's your enemy. Do we still need AI in terms of our industrialization as a productive mechanism? Yes, idea. But it's all over everywhere. As I said, in Indiana, can you share them tea? Was it? And you nipa ye, and Numa and Casancasa see the go up queen. But I think that any see an abayo. Majority no kita and my Ghana economy, Africa economy. They are waking up. The message is going. Nancy, I share ginger production. Say ginger boy be hot cake. And me one more platform. My credit say open so ginger beer. Just follow the platform. Now this year, she now who beer now also produce a part of because demand is so high. Say, what is all add more volume to onion ginger powder and onion ginger chips. Now the normal ginger here because industry now agribusiness na kasa a whole year kind of working. You might be here near the IS animal. And your complexes are all in it. Now so I don't just get it. Meaning Cynthia, you struggle to idea and base about for more. You can have why so many ways. Now you are fine to in a simple methods, but we are complicating so many things in our life. Said before. Reason come back to the old kind of say, now we have been trained to argue, to complain, to wait for God. Now we'll be our train media. Now we'll have a new need that so. And then we main vision, be the ben. Be the ben. Oh, here, Oma Sado Yache, Oma the Newman say, I've been in a check. And then, I what platform is so. Obey as a point for. Yes, a person for Kwabena who some more demano. What yes, and no ye the year Juma won't since by a problem. Let's keep it up. The enemy sharing costing check map for. Now this say the enemy brace, but your generations to come. Ghana will change. Africans are waking up. So let's keep the fire burning. Oh, that was for the opportunity. One question.
Thank you. Yes, all to Guinea. Anne, when you have it. And I friends I can draw Kojo Safono. That's all Casa. Is that also Casa? Watch it. Is that also Casa? So to make up.
Yeah, legend, me too. Nadia.
Yes, boss.
What by Eddie?
Anne.
Areho. Areho. Yeah, I will buy a Juma Munkra. Yeah, I am to me Casabi because a Mufana is so. Now, it's in a so any control. Let me say, now 2 weeks will be one of my busiest week. Obi Akwaje broilers 10,000. Obi Awonye broilers that. Akwaje broilers 10,000. Oh yeah, Mafi. The Drew baby no, not the CD and anything. Ana Kokono. Oko Hesina. Oko over 5,000. And I what you have been abandoned. The Jai Omona. Omo and Omo survival and also AD or more Oma Pro. It's a horrible scene.
Hey.
Yes. So now, which yet you more now is in the Send America. Then to me, Casabi because Casabi down here, I be a best friend to me. You are now dear in America. So, you crack a frozen chicken at the back of my Senka. You will be a serious. The person a developer or miner. And Cabroles, why or more? What's a cry? It's a Swiss. No, my ready. Out to me. A cool more. They say, you produce some cocoa in our system. But or more crack frozen chicken, or so about so, or more so more crack. This is not so, it's okay. I say, yeah, pretend they say, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, no free. Last Friday, another Thursday, and I'm a farmer group back to South so I'm here, I'm on the own. Because, yeah, more, my dear, paddy rice, come on. Out of four.
Wow.
You almost read it. But now,
Omaso and I said,
almost so beer. Omudi Biswako a mail sofa. Omun to me and so because you almost saw any problem out of four. So Na nipa no onya TNT kura na dey akwa akoso mo no because of mo no dos all be afraid no all be pay who sika apata e dey akọ mailing point akọ mail ni nyina ye sika fam ade no so okoso ho no so oni ani da so obi aso obi ba beto nti ebinom e dey omo dey akọgu mailing point wo e na omo agya ho abetena fi na ebi mu so dey egu omo warehouses omo apata omo abo so nti dey na ye ho ase nation ba ni nyina no enkan kosia na say you use the right policies and the right strategies yeah they able man because the thing I was say about this I say yeah we creafo aduamu na yegusu aye kra obi e man so mo
say ye kra mo no say ye kra
I don't know me can say they say no dollar na e ba form ninti no mo na ye kra no bo abeyefo a che na ye creafo no dua no
okay
so more now look imported rice now more cheaper because here the 33 kg no 33 kg 350 but imported rice 33 kg now which mean be 250 which is about 100 series difference across around maybe at 300
you better the air for no
already no so packaging the any year say more appealing because on also government support no they here so if you can't compete with a foreigner, you can't compete with the Chinese companies and also Lebanese and Indians because it's one of the biggest Indian companies almost importing a mobile equipment Indians. The level of sophistication, more money. I say this all the other more appealing. So a whole country, a whole population of about more than 250 million. Nigeria for banning importation of foreign rice. Yeah, in neighboring countries, Cote d'Ivoire, I'm banning the importation of frozen chicken. Say Kenya Cote d'Ivoire for and Kaya and cook on almost 2 years. It never be able to own. But then I'm saying, more import frozen chicken, you know. That is how our poultry industry is surviving in the country. Wow. And you move there, you are needing to miss row. You talk, Miss Ramon and enter money. So, wow, complaining as only power. Yeah. Because policies now, they govern the nation, you know. It is top bottom approach. Yeah, new policy, yeah, consult to the grassroots. Abusama say near person you, yes. Even when they consult you, grow the name find your just a paper on paper. Yes. And I said, Madam Fubia, what do bees when you're over 100 bucks. Our table. That's also a lot of work.
But memory so what can be done independent of a buyer and visa? Because sometimes so we as a farmers and also are not able to think beyond the farming world.
Also, the strategy is that you have to protect the local economy. And but
you have to forget that. No, you have to forget that because if they could protect it, they would have done it.
Okay, so in that case, you know, they create me honest of the preserve. And to me, what I've been doing right now, that is the only. That is the only. We don't seem to have options.
We do have.
You're going to my 100%.
We think we do.
Yes,
have.
we do. We do, but for now, that is how it seems.
No, because of Basadia, then there is no option for then they will continue to live in poverty, or they will quit doing whatever they do. Major said there should be more of us going into processing as well.
Yes, and that is the key. Sir, and a processing no crown say processing be I find this. Ubetimi iron in such a way say a more intimate say no. You can either subject it to radiation, or you can partially boil it, and then dry, and then seal it. And also ubetimi can it. So these things are all done. But once again, I say, you know, I am helpless. And I teach you on the air. And I teach you near my man, and you so, but the truth of the matter is, some of these things, you know, I am not here. The central government's intervention.
You keep saying this. If no, that's all. Listen. You are not listening. Central government is will be our papa now. Because then we live in big frustration. Cocoa is very dear to government, but look at what's happening.
Yes.
So why would be media? I don't want to spend my time going into business and then wait for government.
I know they are no crap, but what we are seeing now, and also because they see no trend and continue say, what is farmers going to do? What are they going to do? Say,
but if we take your advice, then we should stop everything and wait for the government.
No, that is not the way out. That is not the way out.
What is the way out?
But say, you know, the way out is processing and preservation. That is the way to go.
Major said the business side, or the business innovation side.
Yes, that is where we are
only on their farm.
On the farm.
Yeah. And a lot of us are also not exploring that. Maybe as much as we can. We are not exploring that. We are just saying, oh, I buy the fine. Mine, yeah, because the one law from America or England or somewhere to stop them.
I know. I was say, I know something. You know, because but only companies, you know, so I'm processing. Eka star, almost also air complaining. They also tell you say after production, after processing, or also no cost of production, cost so much say on to compete with the imported.
So
because
they
all companies,
then they should do what? They should stop what they should leave it and stop and wait. Because it's easy for us to complain, hoping that some government will come from somewhere. Yes.
But they say no. They say no. So a friend is a handicap because you are no process air complaint. Because I feel say you can hear kind factory a process maize. And all factory process soya bean, those things any beans. Why are they not? This is the time they can even buy at a cheaper price. Well, farmers, it's not about say. It's not about say ABR and factories not a processing. I'm talking about say our processing factories so Ghana.
Yes.
Or more local processors.
But who are they?
Or more Ghanaians. As far as I know, they are more minimum. I don't want to mention names, but I do also process it. So And now me know what I say. Me nya lecture say there is a team or more call around visiting some of these markets. So what the omoba they will
Over. No credit is a media may come as a money and from home. More government to foreign crime. It's him why in your head. Then from people people back.
Yeah, then the paper so.
I don't think that. Maybe a farmer. If a young man here, it's okay if government intervenes, if government gives support, but I will not hope that they do. So that I think on my feet and do the little that I can. This government will come in, government will do this as a good of war. Now or more change. Say about stop foreigners from doing retail. Mudia, bro. I say you said I was a graduate unemployment. Yes, we better find a way. If they're able to do it, fine. If they don't, we say there should be a chain. Whereas a farmer who produces beans, and for the use beans. Do you have a lot of network, big network, even sometimes beyond Ghana?
Yes.
Yes. You can't rely on just 1 or 2 buys or 3. You have to have extensive network.
Look at so idea and say we are not able to build teams. We are not able to build groups because all single farmer no. Every grower when your marketer quantity now market need demand don't even supply.
It means supply. Okay.
So
that's
boils down.
Over. More creative for you ground. You sit on TV and discuss what the government should do, but you hardly touch anything.
And also the main problem. All form no crowd here. You crowd here, but yes, so say only paying for no share. Now say more kasa. No one catch say you are talking like a farmer.
Okay.
I had an encounter. I was told to say I'm talking. Why you behaving like a farmer? Anytime you raise issues, you say this is not possible. Anytime we say this you say it's not possible. Why wouldn't I talk like a farmer? Because I'm also a farmer, and I'm with them, and I know what they go through.
So how did they expect you to talk?
Almost person who can't only can't the same thing, and this is almost so I'm almost catch say who produce we are and also our market now cocoton. But the truth of the matter is, farmer no trend say omonka omohumom. Omonka omohumom. And then there na mompe obi a anasa mo amonya mo market research. Sa de na mo be produce no. E dia ye wi a volume say na ebam. Nti ye wi a de fa anasa ye nyina ye kan ho abom. Akoto mini processor bi. Ye wi a betimi process into something.
Yeah.
So anasa be value addition bi. So, but I don't know, Momuba, no, I have a cultural say, and no, the cultural farmer, and say, on to application, where as soon as no man a grant, on your say, and the Rama, if any links is here, set your mouth, we, and the Rama link in the and also obey within, who put us in Saki and obey. Now we want to be anchor.
Grant.
Problem. It's a serious business opportunity that they are making. Any farmers this year, that's
right.
So I don't know that maybe I don't know there. If you have a farm, if you are a farmer, own the land, buy the land, irrigate the land. To slow us as so. In fact, usika na when you got top plot. In fact, usika na when you got car and And can't tell me so me my phone scare buy and I'm see that. No.
Okay.
Until you own your own land, until you own your own irrigation system, because there are times I don't know who be an out of one. There are times that I don't know how scarce.
Okay.
And you take advantage of the scarce.
More warehouse.
Exactly. So more for more strong farmer union. If I'm inviting me, as I'm a catcher man, says they say, some of us succeed here. You need to have a strong union. I'm about bargaining power. And come when companies there import rice, when I'm going to negotiate, say you need some import rice. Yes, you say, we import to Amoboka saying.
Yeah.
These are conditions. There is a must say. Some import to us about $100,000. Yeah, the mama $80,000. This is the quality.
That's right.
It's let's sit on the table. Without that, without any united front, you can't do that. You don't have that bargaining power.
And is it not because we've been conditioned to hope that government will take some, make some decisions and we've been waiting for them forever?
Yeah. That is why we are always very political. That is why people kill for power. Because what did he say? Table no turn here. The gathering in a Coco, yeah, it is we Atempa, I just say,
Omudimo.
It's easy.
Nangomunya day.
Omo atem easy. Omo di
also with batem. No question no.
But sometimes nipa no grow anymore. And so no di atem, but you atem we dey come up na di what. And this year the double trouble because you so na air turn so am cashew answer. Cashew no so na here bad. And then the quality no so drop on 10 because of the so that it on 10 minutes, And na cocoa no so farmers be money to so no so cocoa no so I do omo hwamo. Nti serious. Serious.
Wow.
But me feel say some of these things should come so that we all learn together. Because I don't know. There be out there, no boom man. What do you now boom man? There be out there, no boom man. I think so. You are not going to be innovative enough. You are not going to be smart.
Because
that is why
very good though. Even if the farmers outlets ankasa eton bi kura na at a reduced price kura and ankasa pick individual market dealers supply at reduced cost. They could compete.
Yes.
Farmers yes, farmers market. We can innovate. We can think. Waiting for something. And some of the young men who are here can come up with ideas like that.
Yes. So that's not tomatoes to the point. Say, yeah, tomatoes will booyah to the point. And our box will not cry 30 cities. 30 cities will go around when you'll be a man into. So we German will go up roy. So they abandoned the farm because transnational Costa. What do you call tomatoes? But they for a form on Betty or T-box will be I or the orgy. What transnational rest I money now? There was a Jama. A pro Romo. And if you must almost buy with anticipation, say, you promise a better offer. Or Tidibe Drew, now market women a lot of tomatoes enough to buy a drop of price.
So this problem these problems have been there already.
Say walk around on a woman.
Anyway, but I'm independent thinking. Or see, you use a very good word. It's business opportunity. And the
Yes.
more we go
Business
into
opportunity.
agriculture, yes, as business and thinking differently, I think we can create something. But say,
yeah. Na say any obi an agreement nanka mobile solar powered cold room. And all the buy, but I don't know so no or the buy no transcend of test run am I who said a busy upon at on some I know say he's preparing to come. Oh my mobile cold room I wait to me a solar powered into a when I say a hyena through this no they will move it there. Then the farmers will pay a fee for storage.
For storage.
Yes, me store.
Right.
These are some of the things. If you say, maybe there be many farmers in this year. What I tell them say, some of these things, more careful now than some way. Don't wait for somebody to do it because nipa no oba be ya mamu no. And also the bar on the terms and conditions that it might not necessarily favor you. So, but also the aba, on the bar be see or how be ano. Going forward, I was saying, now you have to own it.
Going forward, a politician, bro.
Sir, I don't have accounts. I don't have accounts area. If you work on, I was also free because I was, I'm just smart. One yes, smart, who said, I don't know, Ebia, Nipano, they store this duration as Cassie or Jimmy. And yet, I don't know, young crop want to be your cool members in the being concoursia. Send is here. Naya, dear. And yeah, they are on over banners, ABC or prototype. It's why at a reduced price.
A business opportunity for all of us to explore.
Yes. Yes. And then what I've advised and say, Madame for back one, may then know or no say, Mamma not to a Bruno be a good but your backs are a shell Bruno. A shell Bruno, bit me a good 3 years cry in your way.
Okay.
And see, I know be now, Macra at the Amana, may her say or the Nanka, or dear go no way you and then dear. Unjimin said 3 years and I'm Bruno Guono. Born on Cosro, Diver Cosro. These things are temporary.
Yeah.
So in our own small, and that is what we are doing it because there's a business opportunity, and I keep telling them, and then I am frustrated. I feel is the world has come to an end. But then I say, what can I do? How do I preserve it? Because preservation is also value addition. So I don't know what to be the through point to be here. So I time and also no be so here.
Oh.
So be so here and also be to be the idea. Well, some come over now. You go so idea.
That's right. For number 2, now Obi Pewa after Obi be who say opportunities.
Yes, and I think one other issue is that you a lot of omo ben su titru omo ben su the YouTube channel no say farm with danso. Nti me call a ma omo ye afu ewo ensu omo ben ensu and legend uko na ani omo tena say em say ma post videos no be kwa omo YouTube channel or farm with danso na Facebook so danso kwesi na utie omo stories na omo kana omo nim ni omo ye woman ba for catch them so dey see 3 bedrooms ono na hwe ne ma bi mo university.
Wow.
You couldn't affirm. I say within 3 months, it's been 30,000. So since you know, it's been 30,000 within 3 months. And these things are success stories. And they are very strategic. Omo time it. Send a baby meeting market. I think these things are very good lessons are able to me.
For number 2, I think
Yo, legend. Yeah.
Process it, and yeah, for more but with time it gets better. Yeah.
Number is 0200 348 748 0200.
Okay.
348 748. Into your YouTube channel, also there, you go so far, you'll do more videos. And your Facebook page, you know, far more than so. Be Uncle Hona, Uncle Henry.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's it. Annie. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's it. Nana Pong, Kasa, Chicheku.
Hello.
Yes, boss.
Good evening, Mr. Obeng.
Yes, boss.
I hope say only ebusiafo nyina ho ye na atiefo bia so ho ye.
Yes, sir.
Na we dey say topic no crowd ma hwede ye crowd ba me betututu we say jobs left and right because if we are no
okay.
Yeah, ya ne say obi a sebe wo gina kun and I say wo kun na so nim say you are at a war front. And I say you cannot even identify who your enemy is. Let me say, your brother Kwame, I bet they making us be also walk on to Kwa, and that's all Akun, and so you cannot identify, pinpoint who the enemy is. The person mekana nipa, and I say, yeah, before Ghana for your tears and say, your problems, and I say, your enemies are fighting against your progress. And Crofona, they be a platform from Collective West. America e di animu. Sa western part of Europe. America e di animu. Me pe say obi enya time onko tie speech bi in fact me te say mo president you kwa obi Davos in about 2-3 weeks ago in Switzerland. Me pe say onko tie speech a Canadian Prime Minister Connie or Kine speech na say a meeting na say about Bibia happened after the Second World War. Everything was a lie, but Omunyina no they almost support because now it benefited them. What was he talking about? He was talking about institutions. Nema almost say na yedi AC sebi sa omo friend tell world countries no yedi see a coin, but a number says junior partners Germany. Holland, Western countries, no, benefits America in some they were all behind it. But now, no, when who said it now was a lie? I didn't tell when who said it was a lie because Trump all of a sudden say, Greenland. Or per se, or make Canada so a part of America, or it's a state, 51st state. And you know, when who says, in some international law. Rules-based, then the order now was a lie, but because they were benefiting, because America, as we used to macho man or dear nimu or make it path now or pave way now almost take advantage of the poor countries. It is Russia and to Kwabena America beko Iraq or Mukwa bonse say NATO for and I say Europeans and bonse omudi omachi. What happens? Omu wiena say omu fa krona oil. Hey, my BP belongs to a friends British. Most of one Shell so Holland for company no more movie. Exxon America for the almost ajikakra. Now omutu no much sank for foreign resources no why no much chafa. So it's something they are all the same people. They have nothing good for us. It is say yes sir. Now the yan say ye opia onkofona ebedi anim no. They don't understand their history and they don't understand geopolitics. And you know, geopolitics, they be about me come say baby, me share me you and person body. Me who never be say me can't say Ghana, yes, Terminal 1 Accra, international airport. Me can't say America for military. You should as a survey post. At the survey, Burkina Faso, me can't amount for engine to. But I've seen, because of what I'm working on, I've seen what is going on. I'm person who create
confusion as omo creating to kwa Burkina Faso who be sound say adan kra nti no mo pese omo ha Burkina Faso ne sa Sahel for no mo say omo ye poor mo say omo ni they have nothing to offer. Leave them so amo say you don't leave them, you don't want to leave them. Chinchina omo pese omo ye den omo ko fa democracy no maka e wa say a trap. It's nothing. They don't even believe in that democracy no more can.
No, they don't use it.
Idea omo pushy on us, just divide us, omo divide us, no more distract us from our goal. And then in Ghana, yentimi kra no emfa 5 years, 10 years, 15 years plan. Yentimi fancy any so because NDC ba no abeye nema troka no ko MPP aba no abeye no troka no ko abobolo abakoji loans no dey abesisi ebi kwa na nyema kwa na omo bi edan kwa na omo si kwa omo nwie na omo gya no na loan no eda Ghana for so ni etua hwesa sagle professor saglemen den dey
saglemen
yeah no omo si tama area we sa eyi no mo on say omoji musika o but ebeka mu abepim na I don't think so mo wie because say Kofo free so na ayi sa ayi Kumasi omo ba bi wo asokoro mampon na omo si estate ayi bi wo ho omo gya no wo ho amam say aba we ko aba ba ko no sa aba beto aso why because sa democracy na omo pushing on us no it will never give you peace of mind to develop. Adentin omo pushing wo on Chinese because China for no ehun say when you allow them to bring sa democracy identity you lose focus. You cannot put your mind together. You cannot focus. You cannot have determination to develop. Always somewhere distracted. And what a near man and who young. This is AI as some more king. How come a country like Ghana, then you develop, study? We have not even gotten anywhere. You are trying to push down on AI. What is AI going to do? The basic must be developed first. The foundation, we need to have the foundation first. And so what they are doing, they are pushing down all this thing on our people. It's they are confused. Part we go no aba, part we ba no we are where we are. We are not going anywhere. It is very, 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 very important. Say who our enemies are. Omon pese ye beko so. Sa West America for the anymore. Omon AC ye kwan. Policies, the two in place now is against us. So, we are independent. They say the Burkina Faso, Mali, and in Niger for a year. All that they don't. Their own parents obey what I say. We are independent now. We chart your own course. We set your own development agenda. They don't want that because why? They want you to always rely on them. America force Russia. Say assist. They don't even assist in a way it's about military cooperation. I say money. So we need to break off from these people. We need people to say Kwame Nkrumah thinking in a way original based on Africa culture. This is the way we want to move forward. There's no way they can help us to develop in any way.
Yeah.
Well, now, former your friend say Singapore, or Prime Minister, your friend Lee Kuan Yew in the your friend say not during the 80s, every part of 90s, no. Now, I remember saying me the story. Now he was talking about how at the West, pushing. Singapore for changing Singapore for adopting the democracy elections. But the guy realized that these people, all that they want to do is to sow divisions among ourselves. Now, they be an acquisition where come MPP call NDC and so the main problems of the state are not being resolved.
Yeah.
And so party A call, party B about they be their scapegoat. Nothing is being resolved. Or the next information, no, he will never allow so-called democracy. No. He will make sure he will put the Singapore in a place where when they get to that point, then Amapo can start, saying, "Oh, we want freedom, we want to do this and that," because this is what the West do. You will never move forward. They are not our friends.
These people are against us. If you study them, they are against us. But for some reason, our people don't understand what is behind it. The stick is behind them. They are willing to stick behind them, which is what is going on. And we are relying on them. I say we believe in what they are saying. No, we have to chart our own path. AI, and I will come be about AI. Look, it's good. So, bet me the increasing productivity. But the point is, Ghana, are we at that even point, level yet? There's some fundamental and basic stuff we have to pay attention to. We are not even addressing them. And we are letting these people tell us, oh, this is what is going on. We have to follow them, and we are all following. Without addressing the basic things that we need to address as a society to move forward. Sir, your friend saying we should be able to produce our own food. We share a name, your friend saying Trump or buy or oil, and then all the sanction are 2 ways. And then all we have to find a way of saying, look, we are not going to import rice from America again. I see a way of encouraging our people to produce it. Do everything than like domestication. We have to rely on ourselves. We have to be proud of ourselves. Some of them, they have nothing good. Say only with the learners, Mr. Obeng, they cannot take advantage of you. They don't see any. They don't see.
I say if you be Radcliffe was a wine billionaire of England, I would say UK has been colonized by immigrants.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone also apologize.
Yes. If they are dealing with you, Mr. Obeng, they cannot take advantage of you. They are not interested. Their only way relationship is to benefit them. And Trump, the thing I like about Trump is and he is the one that is actually exposing because Obama no money Biden no like diplomatic niceties, right? No more I said they are doing until you think say they are there for yes, but this guy Trump, he's very brute. Or you're very brute. So if you cry Obama so until the Africa that. Also on visit every US president the Obama also visit Africa. Obama, this is the 6 years until in Africa. Or person say they don't give a damn about you. It is a who develop and that's what you have to chart your own path. Now you say your friend say ye now so we have to chart our own path. I see a fine way of developing now. The same thing at China for or more Asian countries, they chart their own path. And we have to be proud of ourselves. We have to be proud of where we are coming from. Let's chart our own path. Let's stop relying and listening to these people. They have nothing good for us. Period. They have nothing good for us. So what is uncle you will never see them the same again. Kakra mekane say, as you say, a G. They chat your own path. They jai or more, your friend say, the Ombakabiasi, a president, you much now. No, we have to chat our own path. We have to chat our own development. They know Master Momo. Kakra me pese me share any where me da was so am require ma venti kakra.
Yeah, that's a Jack. Yes, sir. That's a good one. Thank you. That's a no current outcome. You say go for no best. What does it take? Say for Africa pa technology more sika more about my business. More no be more control. What does it take for you to say that this is the model? Everything shows there. Young money, Gaza. Young money.
Is that me?
Yeah, man.
Bishapa.
Over you also.
Me teach you, Bibia.
I'm there. I'm local. And then you be my friend. Many are some baby America. A boy new business. Me here go for betting my supply my drinks. Coke, Fanta, Sprite, malt. Tea. Yes, for betting I supply my drink, you know. Number and then I do to Gano. The business. 0243 619 317. 0243 619 317. TV me pay malt. Me pay no quantities. Me pay the drink. Malt, Fanta. What you say?
Appetizer.
David, count.
Oh, what's the business? And then come in here,
it's all we make my supply mods, Coke, Fanta, and Sprite, and then be a Bella, Kwabena, and I didn't be a quick one or link up. It's you make a camera can no michubia.
Sharp, young money. Thank you, sir. Something, Gaza.
Legend, Pajotinga.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Legend. Where dear, Mekase, Emily pass young man Casaria, our friend, because Melinda Casa crying to yes, I now. Dr. Panic said, Bess, Afiba Kuni Fanny, is that said, meet you. Now, I'm said, Menuenya, several chat or WhatsApp that, but across Alan, I'm said, block. Now, Meadows year pa is an in fact, Mitio no. Meeting to your mama and I'm look at a meeting a symbol. I catch you said, meeting be new pharmacy.
Wow.
Enough of because we look at say no, it the key. I feel back and sana process no. It's very yes. Now, was a ubuka. A perspective and you know me can say streamline abuame every task no em say menya encouraging maybe if you know yeah and I bring that be as no meteo YouTube and other channels are university and I make I say the sign me dey say in fact, somewhere 2019, now we discussed about fears in many man, so no, you never share. In Tinaka, obviously a bamboo, yabambu. But me, I say, Miss Angada went to, and I say, and then the 80 mile, and I'm no Casino Crown, to see, I know, me sat get a farmland about 20 acres, and no dear. I think say me hope say be a somewhat time with me be no finalize it. I don't know so. Now, Legend, and the topic, you know, I am the pa. As I say, me no kase no Siciano. Me kase free in Czech Republic. All the baby am share. Now the thing is currently no. You ma me no a company me no you ma no. Omo a Thai manufacturing company. Bibi intimi from within Juja. But saya me say say abako se no nkroma bonsa Thai factories bonsa Thai factory now me say that time nkroma to be a factory no ana ye automobile tires no na se wo hwe adwea papa no timidi to from pa say ye that kind of jumano. Now from that time to now, no be intimi, aban be intimi for na dream koso say intino yen to intimi Kenya mo na say ye be similar krano na dream one entiase. Because Legend a juma menum a company menum ye juma say no. Me wo under technologist no I say na hono you put two chemicals together, raw chemicals to say industrial starch over the corn and I say cassava any so many other chemicals. Now they say cornstarch here make you know. And pacho me because out there.
Yeah, also.
Okay. Now so yeah, shit say industrial starch here make you. They say if you put the enka corn and cassava there, say you can now legend on a weekly basis, you know, you use tens of tons of this this particular product. We have over 30 plus raw industrial chemicals you use. Just the cornstarch, and just one of them. I can tell you, sir, about 10 of them, you know, if you eat my very easily.
Wow.
Now, so we demand, you know, you use many department in say, you know, minimum every week, you know, a shift, 3 shift into basically 24-hour economy. Now, shift no make a within a week. Legend, you should no, a shift within a week, no, at least 27 tons of this particular industrial starch. Just shift to, and a 3 shift. You know, me pass you know, sika we you go na China for no produce this particular one make you. Now say na China for to produce cornstarch na to there. And industrial starch so say be a consumable obeka say e be standard so strict say be a but when industrial you know na e mean can say the standards na too much strict EBS. You know, me more instead of my ass film and a so. Nancy and I make legend and no na wakano. Unze said you to 12 mono, now said you can share ni ya ubefia na sebi when you saw me uja na I 10 town. You know, obviously and I'm on yasha no say you ba kwashe for na. And if you make a choice, me target from land. Not just say crack. Like you don't say you can say no. Caltech Ventures, Omuo, Hoju, Huono. Omono don't say. In fact, Casaprecon owns about 40% of that.
Okay.
Oman is a group of companies, no. Now Casaprecon 40%, other 60%, no, it belongs to European. Into no, omono, ethanol, any other byproduct, cassava. They have, I think, at least about 3,000 hectares of land. Cassava or sa into mono, ethanol, any other byproduct. No, we are not in Europe. Na alcohol no na cassava so the irons and my, but it's Indians and I know. Oh, of course, a business, men can say about it, but ofana nobody any man be no. Mrofono e de ba Europano. Na kakrano, yeno, se kasampe kure, se bio e nsango juma. But the me pachane say ye titru ye di follow no. Ana kan pese enka ye timi at least ye huge group bile ebemo. Na ka ye timi the one industry be say this one kan so boapa because ye can production. I believe say or Hana Sebi be into this particular segment. Now can focus say at least no. Fana say it just about 500,000 acres grana. Na say ye di banchi and I say a brune in this one. Any naka itano no any starch nan and kaya krana and no prosika prano more than gold. Because that banchi no twice in a year you can produce it corn. Very similar, or even 3 times in a year. You know, when I study, I can be sent to just say, "What do I do?" Nanka emo ni ani yenfe, omo ni abrumo. Nanka, unse GH cattle, Brad Francis, or no elgada that GH farm no cattle farm. Nanka, maybe so percent timi nyabi bise no. At least no, by and by no nanka timi no because we timu say individually no. Go slow, but it will back together as a big number now. Nanka it will push in to that extent. Maybe Timu say togetherness no and never boy.
For number 2.
But my number no
send a message.
plus 420 608 886 714 plus 420 608 886 714. And no, I am a personal number, but I think say WhatsApp number best to communicate on it for now. Yeah. Indeed. Legend, what you asked that any one America say, Messiah, the amount say, say, make me two and more at least first step, no, but and soon, you go so, you know, where they were Darma, and say, we have more than you know, but I me have more than a photos of place in America, and I'm going to say, no, I'm say within a week or two from now, no, you may finish stock, you know, in Bruno.
Wow.
And you know, yeah, that is the baby addresses here. Into stock in the this month, yeah, no, you may be stock, like I said, operation, yeah, that tomorrow, no.
That's right.
Into no, and one is a maybe that was so. Into where that's if he.
Ciao. That was it.
Yo.
Something, no. About for expertise, the answer a big awareness. Yeah, Cambo will be our solution. Yeah, Moses Kaza, only. Only Kaza. Ofadu Kaza.
Legend.
Yes, boss.
Afishapa.
I think over there.
I'm back to Abuson Funny. America, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
And then, yes, that's it. I think that and that topic, you know, is one of the things that I I happen to write about is that doing things or doing agribusiness or entrepreneur success in Africa without banks and government. I'm say Namiti only your brother back on and common, and most of the time, you know, we keep going back to say abino, and many believe when they say abino, so when you're one, and so you believe that. Me pacho wote minka.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The attorney say, here na question. That will be some question be, and a very striking question. I think say makahu asem go baby da on a different platform. Say, as I say, I did be white beans, a legume. I think say the same as I say no. You did soya bean a be and na yen akuafo no dodoɔ na ye ne sɛ me area yɛdua tomatoes nti me nso mekonya asase a tomatoes na mekodua. The question is say tomatoes no ni farmers 10 ɛde nyina bere bom a price na bɛkɔ fam because is ya no the ɔbɛtɔ no ɔwɔ multiple choices but ɔbɛba no na sɛ wo nko na woyɛ wɔ hɔ a wodua mako a wo leverage say wobetumi akyerɛ price a wopɛ sɛ wotɔn wo mako no and ɛyɛ na yɛnhwɛ nipa a yɛ produce adeɛ no de ama no hwan na yɛ wo target market mentwɛn ma nnɔbaeɛ ne mba ansa na wakɔhwehwɛ market hwehwɛ market na ansa na nnɔbaeɛ no aba ɛfiri sɛ wonni saa research na sɛ wonni saa information na nneɛma ne bɛba no afei na wokɔpɛ atɔfoɔ saa times afei na atɔfoɔ nso bɛkyerɛ ɔmo ho agu so nneɛma bi wɔ hɔ a ɛba a wonni akuafoɔ no dodoɔ na ni storage dodoɔ na ni warehouses sɛdeɛ na woka no yɛnhwɛ sɛ wowɔ warehouse a wowɔ baabi a wotumi store paddy rice for the next 3-4 years a yɛ brother yɛ asɛm yɛ a woka yi
Now you can go in, take those paddy rice, preserve them for the next 3 years. Within the next 3 years, price in the cost rate, or advantage to sell, and kwa or baby I would be good. Now, over dependence on a buying intervention, social intervention, is a political English, yɛde akyiri akyɛ mmoa wankasa nkasa no sɛ wamfa wohyɛ berɛ anto wo nsɛm na woka sɛ woretwɛn aban a aban ɔno ɔba a ɔdwene next sisi a yɛka sɛ aban na ɔte so na ɔdwene next campaign o next election kwan a ɔbɛfa so ɔbɛ maintain power ɛnyɛ wo kwan a wobɛfa so a wobɛtɔn w'aburo ɛno deɛ ɛnyɛ asɛm because na adwene yɛ ne sɛ ehuru a ɛbɛdwo akuafoɔ kasaa a ɛbɛdwo nti wo ho kyerɛ wo na edu election na ɔbrɛ wɔ mo bag baako a obi bɛto aba ama no na ɔde agye power for 4 years. Those things, mmoa as we farmers. And now okay, baby, young people na ɛwɔ ha na moyɛ engineering ne adeɛ no, look into fabrication of nneɛma a ɛbɛboa akuafoɔ bɛsolve wɔn problems. Wobɛtumi akɔ kuyani bi hɔ anaasɛ community bi mu na wahwɛ problem bɛn na ɛwɔ hɔ kwan bɛn na wobɛfa so abɛtumi asolve na yɛnua no ka solar cooling systems ne saa nneɛma no wowɔ ha na sɛ wo nso woyɛ obi a woyɛ construction woyɛ building constructor wobɛtumi asi cold rooms ne bi a sɛ wosi no in a certain way na wo panel mu no yie woyɛ no very airtight air conditioner kɛkɛ koraa de bom a ɛtumi kuli nneɛma no bi ɛtɛn saa dan no into fridge a AC no saa tower AC no nko koraa no sɛ wo store nneɛma wɔ crate mu na mframa tumi fam a wotumi use no de store adeɛ no ma ne kyɛ kakra prolong the shelf life of those things na yɛ maamenom ne yɛ nuanom mmaa no nso no nhwɛ kwan a yɛfa so a yɛ dry nneɛma process nneɛma into powder ɛnɛ nkosua koraa no sɛ nkosua bu a yɛtumi yɛ nkosua powder a ɛno ne shelf life yɛ longer nti wohia nkosua a you pull out the powder mix it with water when you egg no back and you can use it for whatever you want to do. Beans wotumi yɛ no powder and they're very nutritious. Beans powder yɛde stew ɛde yɛ nneɛma bebree. Dry ones no koraa no wotumi ɛnoa dry beans no na wa store and wohia ɛnoa ne sɛ wode nsuohyɛ egu ho wanoa the beans come back to its original state. I think say at this point my suggestion per research any information I may work and the people I have come to meet. I think one part me feel that minim and which I can tell anybody who want to go into it transportation. Logistics transportation one of the deficit I Ghana. And I think say ubi di n'ani bɛhwɛ hɔ na wahyɛ aseɛ sɛ wopuli nneɛma because sisi a yɛka sɛ beans na bu ɛwɔ baabi a wɔn nya atɔfoɔ but the same Ghana wokɔ other parts nso a beans boɛ den paa nkurɔfoɔ nya bi ntɔ ne nyinaa yɛ sɛ the means of transport from one point to the next and a problem nti sɛ wowɔ means a wobɛtumi a transport nneɛma no a you can buy it very cheap at baabi a abu no transport it to where the market is and then wokɔ hɔ no na wokɔ na wohu sɛ market no yɛ good a you find a place and build a warehouse and then you now you become a go-to person nti what they are say every week what they bɛba abɛgu warehouse well now that becomes a center obi or people that area no can come and get it and I think say nneɛma no deɛ yɛ produce but the production areas the price keep falling because means of transportation is our biggest problem. I was say also yɛhwɛ sɛ yɛbɛtumi ayɛ na yɛtumi distribute into other parts. Me AI ne saa weinom ne deɛ is one of the things. Yeah, it's in the pipeline. Everybody is talking about it, but with the AI, no, where there is no network, where there is no mobile network, no. Kakra na no. Let's master our craft. Master your craft in area. By the time AI name bedroom no, we plug it in AI the wire data no, and we feed it into the AI to speed up the process. But process in and it's a minimum say the biggest deficit is a means of transportation in terms of logistics. Your cooling systems here, warehousing here, but when you build a warehouse and you don't have a means of bringing the produce from the farmers to the warehouse, you don't have the means of keeping the produce and prolonging almost shelf life. One of the key things. Men my interest in nkogu diapers ne toilet paper ne saa business no abɛyɛ too saturated. Nti wo sika no wokɔ China na hwɛ problem bi a wobɛtumi solve with this kind of means. Sɛ small car bi na wobɛnya na woyɛ consistent sɛ wopeke nneɛma from point A to point B na wowɔ customers I think sɛ consistently no you can grow and some of us the nim and the we can share with anybody who wants maybe all transportation more logistic transportation. That is what I do. That's my field. If anybody want to go in, I can give you free advice. I can help you with the minim meeting me you will be successful in it, because I think that know we are trying to help our fellow brothers. Yes, obeti se wo nua bi produce nneɛma wonya atɔfoɔ ɛsɛ deɛ na yɛ brother ne ka tomatoes no wagya ama na pro ne sika bɛn no ɔbɛsan de ayɛ adwuma biem the next season is very painful. But sɛ yɛn nyinaa no yɛwɔ nneɛma nkakra wowɔ mobile processing machine a ɛbɔ wo pickup bi to na wotumi de kɔsi hɔ na wotumi yam tomatoes bɛyɛ 10 boxes ɛde gu bucket mu de kɔ ɛkɔ freeze anaa kɔ supply restaurants in here, you ease the burden on the farmer, you make your profit, the farmer also gets their money back, and with the hope said they can produce more because there is somebody they can go to. And you always say this, and I will leave us with that. Say, our honesty is always our currency. In all this, if you are not honest, then don't get into the business. Because when him say wo court na wa kodada nipa no na ochi no de nani ato so na afi wo mba biem na obema excuses, and then you better not go. Allow them to be where they are. And I think so with this I will pause here for some other people to bring their opinions. May I say a chair.
Fantastic. And that's it. Overdo. And that's it. Wow. Okay. MZ Nebro. And then you call Freddie Papa Freddie Soa. Sorry. Or Medina, Kwabena and Marie, and Salom Krashia, some other people. Indeed, Besia, it'll be acid, and it'll be acid. Industrial entrepreneurship. The share channels and the videos near here we are. One network be another there also, or groups be another there also. What we are doing is changing lives. Not only here, on the books, everywhere. Yeah, we are sowing some good seed. And you say, I was also a level 1 student, level 100 student, okay, course. Na utie the he's been able to build t-shirt, yogurt, and petrol business somewhere in Central Region. You student though. So, until we know. 7 kakran to bo modern for we mu we school onyambo because adwena sesa otbibi ase that's what school nko na osuan de na onim hwe na onte hwe ase we school o twen so be fa na djuma so nipa yi do so na e do so to we school na ho na be fa na djuma so na fa frustration. And the most important thing is what the people know. If they know something different, they will do something different. We only do what we know. And so we plant the seed, and knowledge is that seed. There's no way you are going to have any plant without first planting it or having a seed for it. Maize farm, the way who maize now, it's because you planted seed. So that's the inception. And with good knowledge, many people can feed themselves, can organize their own lives, can build their own future. They will not be hopeless. And hoping so be best for oneself. So be as it. Kwame wade open so kasa na me so ba so na wako. Open so kasa. Nyesa dia na ejaw. Enti yenyina ho nsia. No man be enye hu sa auto was a baby and industry no person be aye. The baba ba ko send me pictures say e ma bana o se o tie wa bro chiro so pam shirt say no they send me. Yes, by listen. Wa pam shirt do say ma be say so it just as knowing that we are okay and we do something. You see, am I right? Yes, yeah. Pam shirt. See, they are changing any. It's a shirt or family of which so that's the truth. Every one of us, we have something that we can build with. So we should be able to work with it. Yeah, that'll be us. Thank you very much. Kwame,